Welcome back to another episode of the Weekly DLC. I'm one of your hosts, Karosh, joined always by my co-host, Daniel Vargas.
XX.
And Daniel Jang.
Big flex.
And for those not watching video, he's got $40,000 worth of
He's showing us his wads. 40,000 what?
40,000
Hello?
wallas, I guess. Since they ain't dollars, I know that much.
Big bank over here. If you're not familiar with what we do, we come to you each and every week to platforming services of your choice around a table like this, and we talk about nerdy stuff, usually nerdy in nature, comics, books, games, video games, movies, everything in between. And we have some fun. We hope you have some fun with us. This is episode 111.
XXX.
So you can call this episode 3 technically.
Or XXX.
Or X. Oh, I get it.
I was hoping
Damn,
you'd
this
finish
episode
it.
just about got dirty. That's why you got the in all his sweater.
Going back to episode 69.
This is the sequel. Fuck, I'm not prepared. Yeah, episode XXX.
111.
So someone's got to give it to me. What's our topic this week?
Well, we got multiple topics. What do you mean?
What's the first topic? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. We're going with one topic now? Yeah. No, we can start with mine. So coming back around from the last topic, we talked about what we think Google's going to announce.
Yeah,
And now
week.
they've announced it, and it is Stadia. Stadia. And it is a streaming service for games.
It's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things. 4K, 60 frames a second. Stadia.
Big
But,
promises.
Big promises.
Yeah.
My question is, do you guys think this is the future of gaming? Like streaming will be it, or do you think this is just a step in the direction to what gaming will eventually be? Any takers?
And next
Anyone?
topic, please.
No. So starting off the bat, like,
Go ahead. I want to hear your thoughts.
because the thing is,
Did you watch the conference thing?
I did, yes.
No.
The thing is, I'm very skeptical, but we've have Netflix. Netflix was like a huge, like people were like, well, that's trash. You know, when we had Blockbuster.
Give me my disc.
But yeah,
I still
look at-
I'm not gonna stream it. I'll just
Yeah.
email me my disc.
Exactly.
That was the first one.
Even for me, when I had Netflix, they originally were the physical copy sending it to you.
Yeah.
I was super down for that. And then once we went into streaming, I continued to use the disc service.
You're like, is this gonna work?
Yeah, I was just like, I'll keep using the disc service. They separated it. I continued to use the disc service.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that turned out good for streaming. And we
Look at him now.
Look at him now. Music,
Yeah.
you know, streaming is huge, dude. Like, it's all.
That's how it is. It's digital.
Yeah, it's on Spotify. Like, that's where you get your music from now.
iTunes. I mean, that broke the
Yeah.
door. But yeah, now we got Spotify, Pandora, Google Play. You know, you name it.
Yeah. YouTube. YouTube streams music.
That's true. Yeah.
They had to like
The YouTube
buckle
music.
Down.
Yeah.
They had to buckle down because people were listening to so much goddamn music. But yeah, like these services were originally seen as like, no, that's not going to do anything with it, you know. And now we're going with streaming. We're games essentially, and so I think, you know, even though you might have your doubts, like there's that possibility that, you know, this can become the new service for future games. Like, you know, we'll be coming back to this day and be like, can't believe we didn't think about it. Like
Skynet.
yeah.
This is the beginning.
This is perfect. I always stream all my games. I don't even buy them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of big things that I think what the thing for me was, people have been like talking about it, like, oh, you know, the next step is streaming, the next step is digital, the next step is discless, but like we had no like concrete plan presented to us in a presentation like this one was. And I think seeing this gave us our first glimpse of like, maybe not the practical application of it, but at least the ideal application of it. I think what Jen kind of hinted at was like, it's big goals, but like, how will it be in the wild? Like when I'm not at like 4G or when I'm on a limited data plan or, you know, your home internet, wherever you are, like what is that going to be? That's still an unknown, but seeing how it can go in between these things. I mean, you took part in that Assassin's Creed thing, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like
Google Chrome
a lot of
streaming.
people are saying like, what will it be? I'm like, that I think was a big hint, and we didn't know it was a big hint in the way that it was.
Yeah.
And like they were showing like they said they went for the bottom of the barrel devices when they were demoing it there, and it was just seamless. I think in part with that, like not just how we play, I think this was an opportunity for them to like subtly create something that Twitch doesn't have in my eyes in terms of streaming.
Yeah.
All the things they showed us for what a content creator or streamer could potentially one day do, I was like, that's some cool, forward thinking. It's unique that I think it's things that Twitch can't offer. I'm like, so far everything YouTube does for streaming, Twitch can do.
Yeah.
For the most part. I don't know, Jang, is there anything unique in terms of like how you stream that differs besides like the community or the way the interfacing? I feel like in terms of what you're offering to the consumer, it's the same.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So like I think these things where the way you can engage more so, I think Twitch is kind of like lightly tapped at with like you said with Dead Cells.
Yep.
They can get involved. That's a cool idea. I feel like this shows you like how much more they can take that.
Yeah.
So a lot of cool ideas. I am interested, but I don't think like one of the things I was like, this isn't going to be for everyone. The same way, like people still use CTRs or CRTs for their competitive fighting games or for their esports or whatever. I think that is a area where, how many people are that? Like that's the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
So for like the general consumer, I'm thinking that's the target audience. That's some of my thoughts. Jane, what do you think?
Like I said from last week, this is the beginning step. They want to get into mobile. That's like their next like global domination because everyone has a phone.
Yeah.
So they want to. The infrastructure's not there. That's the only thing that's holding them back from mobile. I feel like the infrastructure's not there for PCs or computers, but this is the step, and they're gonna learn, and hopefully, internet speeds get better in the U.S. Mobile is global domination for them.
I mean, I just read something today about T-Mobile is making signs of like setting up home Wi-Fi stuff in their cellular service. I think what's it called? Verizon's already kind of touched on that. AT&T offers internet service for homes. I think they're kind of just meshing those companies because people are mobile all the time. And
it's crazy because like you see like posts on Reddit when people post up their internet speed test, and people in the world do circles around us. We are so capped. Like it's crazy.
And we're on the, I think on the higher end of it, at least in terms of suburban. If you go to the middle of the country, there's big spots of just like not good connection. Like the best they can get is maybe 10 megabits per second. Like we're like, oh, I got 1 gig, maybe like 75 megabytes, but I mean that's not great. And it's like, bro, like what?
Yeah.
And now like things are going higher, but like we're seeing problems already with like, not all the time, but there's a challenge or resistance with internet service providers and stuff like streaming where now I never knew this until recently with like how big game files are and how much streaming has been a thing, where my internet service provider my old one used to give me warnings, be like, hey, you're nearing your like monthly allowance. I'm like, I had that. Like there was an allowance. I thought like when I have cable or internet or whatever for home, I have it. Like I never thought there was like a thing. And like Netflix would always be like, we're being throttled. Like there's only so much they're allowing us to do. We're trying to like break that, but they're not letting us. And I'm like, this is going to be just as much of a challenge with more, because at the end of the day, it's data.
Yeah.
And it's just another big chunk of thing competing for that same space. So it'll definitely make it a bigger thing on that end of it, less on the
But that has
hardware end of it.
That's also part of like the net neutrality where you know they're trying to these companies are trying to take over the internet so that they can charge you extra to use a service like Netflix and stuff like that. So that's like hopefully we can beat this thing going on, and then that I don't feel like data rates would be an issue, but like the amount of data we can get at one time would be the issue. Like having the 1 gigabyte or
Yeah,
something like that.
and also like the infrastructure. It looked like, at least from what I saw, I watched the panel as well.
Yeah, they showed that they have. I think.
Well, they were showing like right now a standard connection from your home console to the internet and like back to you is this way, and it showed a bunch of extra connecting dots, and then here's the internet. He's like, what we want to do is take out a lot of that and make it so it's direct to the internet. And we have our data center. They were like, the data center is the console, and we have that. And I'm like, that's both cool and scary. Like I thought of like the Borg or like this giant like smart cube or something.
One of us.
Yeah. But like it made me think. I'm like, I wonder if what they're gonna do that a lot of people maybe it's innovative in some way. I don't know. Maybe I'm hyped on excitement. But I wonder if they're changing the way some of the things in the internet work in the way we think that it works. Yeah. Like we're so used to it working a certain way. Like, oh, I go through my modem goes to my thing and so on, and then it goes through 18 other things. What if a lot of those barriers in that part of it changes? I hope that would be cool because then that could then be applied to other things like Netflix and 5G, whatever 5G ends up being. So those are. You mentioned pricing. Do you guys have any thoughts on like how this could work in terms of like a service?
Well, people have been talking about it. That like I think around $15 to $20 a month.
What are we talking about? Like they want it to be?
No. Well, that's like that kind of the rumored like what the general price is going to be for a service like this monthly.
I don't know. See, I know one thing I know is they haven't said anything official.
Yeah,
they said that there's going to be another more detailed thing about their implementation in the summer. Now, two things are in the summer. There's E3, which they have not said they're going to be at, but there's a big space for them. And the other thing is Google's I/O, which is like their conference for their OS, the Android OS, a bunch of tech that they want to push. That's in May. So those both, I think, could be potential places. But I think I was listening to Kotaku's podcast, Split Screen, and they were talking to the CEOs, like, can you tell us about prices? Like, we'll talk about it later in the summer. I was like, what would I want and what do I think it would be? You're thinking it would be monthly payment?
Yeah, I think it's a monthly service.
What would you want it to be? For like your preference.
Well, the thing is, like, I mean, I pay World of Warcraft. I pay $15 a month. Like, I'm already doing that. I would gladly cancel my World of Warcraft subscription and pay $15 a month for a service where I could just play any game, specifically the games that they're going to offer, which is it seemed like they were like Ubisoft and a few other companies they had on there. But I mean, like,
so you think it's going to go more of a route of like you pay this fee, you can access any game in their library that's accessible?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Because it doesn't. Well, let's get everyone's opinion.
Okay, I want to get an idea of what you.
Yeah,
that's what you.
I think it's going to be a service subscription.
Okay.
And this will allow for any game while you're in the subscription.
I think there's going to be subscription, but it's tiered. So like $9.99, but with ads, and then $19.99 without ads. But what they need to do to bring people in, they need to buy an exclusive. I know Doom Eternal is coming out.
It's not exclusive.
It's not exclusive,
but it's going to be.
They should have paid money for that exclusivity. They need to bring people in. They need to bring a game that's people want to play, and it has to be only for Stadia. They need to pay that money, or people.
I thought, I don't know, I could be speaking out of turn, but I thought they said something along the lines of we want to go towards share. Because they made a comment about shared progression. They're like, we're on our platform, we're 100% behind shared progression, shared cross-play. We want to get away from... I thought I heard something along the lines of like going the opposite of exclusivity. But they did say on the split screen thing that first-party developed games, which is that one lady you mentioned last week? Jade. She's helping develop. First-party Stadia games are exclusive to whatever that platform is. But these third-party ones, it seems like it's just like come to us as well. We want to be interfacing. Yeah. If you have a friend on Xbox and you want to play through your Stadia, connect. So I don't know how that would if that impacts, but so that is just 2 tiers or 3 for yours? 2.
Ads, no ads.
I definitely was like, if YouTube's any sign, and this is, I think, utilizing YouTube as a way of like segueing through things or portals.
That's gonna be smart. Where you're stuck on a spot and you can actually pull up a YouTube video and in-game see how to beat it.
Did you see the
No, I didn't
They
see
have that.
the way they have it
shit.
is freaky.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So-
Like what it was they were showing Laura Croft,
Uh-huh.
for instance, and they're partnering with a Crystal Dynamic, and he's like, you're stuck on this puzzle in a Tomb Raider level, and literally like either using the controller or just like through the game, you'd be like, okay, Google, like the assistant. Oh shit. Sorry.
Well, real quick, because they have a specific controller.
Outside of that, though, it works
Yeah.
too. But-
And that controller has like a capture button, a start, a pause, and it has a Google Help button. So you press that button or you say it. And what's cool is like if you go into assistance where like you need someone's help, like physical, there's a mic and like someone will talk to you like, hey, did you ask for help? I was like, what the heck?
You know what would be crazier if like things like clamp your arms and it doesn't. doesn't move.
No,
But
but
it's not like you're not only able to use it with the controller. The controller makes it easy to do,
Yeah.
but I think you can do it just straight through the
Outside, yeah.
whatever platform you're on.
crazy.
And what it does, the freaky part is your game kind of like the screen, at least the way they showed it was there's a new screen coming over your screen and it shows the path that your character would go and it highlights, like it says like hit that light,
Yeah.
but in the video it highlighted that. And then it zooms back and disappears, and then you go back to your play.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even have to go to a
But
new window.
Here,
It's
you know,
in my window.
You know what it won't help me on? Blood level.
Blood level.
force.
It just says get good.
So do this, do that. It's like can't do it.
first of all, level your character.
Yeah, the ad thing. I thought of all the challenges YouTube is having right now, algorithms, just like adpocalypse, and like whether they're going to be promoting ads on there or not, and like how we talked about last week of like if you're in the middle of a fight and all of a sudden it just shows, or what would happen if you're like, okay, every 30 minutes of gameplay, an ad gets stacked, and next time I jump in, I have to watch 5 ads. But I'm like, that can add up. And at what point am I just gonna like, all right, I'm gonna leave it playing. I'm gonna go to the bathroom or whatever. Will they allow that? Like, I don't know. It seems weird to me. Or will it just be in-game ads? Like while I'm playing something, like a banner, like CNN will pop up. I hope not. Like I don't want that. I think there will be a free version of this. I think there will be a premium. I agree. Service where maybe it's like how YouTube TV offers something, or like YouTube Red or whatever the hell it is.
It would be creepy. This when Truman Show where you're playing Devil May Cry. It's like, oh, by the way, Dante, have you ever tried this new? It's like,
Yeah, that'd be fucking. Oh God. But what I don't know, like the way they showed it was like, let's say you're watching a YouTube video of a game or a trailer. They said like you can then click and be like, I want to play this game now, and you buy it, and then you would play it. I'm like, okay, that makes me think that it's not a subscription.
Gotcha.
That, I mean, I don't know if that's going to be the actual,
Yeah.
but that little thing made me like, then what will it be? Because will this work on old games I have? Can I take my entire Steam library or PS library or whatever libraries that they're partnering with? I'd imagine Sony might not, but maybe they get friendly with Xbox, or maybe not because Xbox is doing their own streaming. Or will it just be from this point going forward, do I own or have that in my Stadia library to access? Or I don't know. I feel like that's going to be weird of like,
Yeah.
where do I own this game and how does that allow me? Where does that allow me to play?
I know what you're referring to, but I don't think there's going to be ownership of games. I don't think that's how it's going to work. I think if
Or
there
access
is,
to what I mean is like if I had spent money on Assassin's Creed, but through
Ubisoft.
through Ubisoft or through some other Uplay or whatever
Yeah.
other platform that Xbox or like on Xbox or on PlayStation, can I then go onto Stadia and be like, let me play?
I don't believe so.
So then I would have to make another purchase of that game somewhere.
If they do the like you're owning the game or access to that game, yes. But that's why I don't think that's the case. I think it's going to be streaming or
Service,
a
like-
service. Yeah,
That-
that makes more sense. But the thing is, I didn't realize like as I was thinking about free, I was like, I don't know how that's going to work. But that makes perfect sense. There are certain games that are free, and you can have like Nindy games, essentially indie games, like or games that are not AAA titles that are free. Or obviously you pay this developer. He's like, here's $1 million. Let us have your game for free so that people can see that, test this out, and then want to buy our subscription version that opens up to all games that we have. stuff like
Possibly.
that. But I don't. I still feel like
I think it's going to be a start. Okay, I understand what you're saying. That could work, possibly. Like I could see that much more than your original one. But I think like people's. I think that there's a lumping of like this is both Play Anywhere and a streaming service to buy games like Game Pass. I think those are two separate ideas that are being mixed into one.
Yeah.
If it is both, great. Like I think that'd be cool. If it isn't, I think that their pitch needs to be maybe more clear of like this is just a way to access all these games, and how that works with the details of purchasing needs to be clarified. Because
that's probably in the summer.
Yeah, hopefully, because I want to be able to know like, okay, I'm on my Pixel, I'm playing, I don't know, StarCraft, and then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, I got to finish this on my computer, and I'm going to go to the TV and just, I don't know, like whatever game it is. I think the feature is being able to just go between everything. I think like it's taking Nintendo's Switch idea of Play Anywhere and just like Googling it, like cranking that shit up. So, I don't know.
But to me, the thing is, the reason why service works so much is there's an infrastructure they're building that they need to constantly keep maintained. Yeah. And if they just sold a game for $40 or $50,
no. I think there will be a service fee for like the ads or no ads. I think the game thing where it's like a pass or something will be separate to that. Like how we're playing, you would pay, for instance, I'm using Xbox. You would pay for Xbox Live, but then
to have access to play online.
But then you would pay Game Pass
to have access to the games.
Yeah. I think that's what it would be if you want to do the game.
I hope it's not like that. It just seems so convoluted. To me, I want a service like Netflix where I have access to everything that's on this content. There's no... obviously, they have tiers to have higher quality service, and they have tiers to have more multiple users.
Sure.
You know? They might not have a more multiple user. They might have a higher quality tier, so you're preferred when it comes to streaming a game. So
well, then maybe what they could do is their definitive product is what you're saying. They lump it all. They say here's one fee, but I think it's more than $20.
Okay.
Or you could do a la carte. You could be like, you just pay to play on here, whatever you want, or you could pay to just have the games on here, and that I don't know, and have the free version of I don't know. It could have convoluted a la carte stuff, but like a clear, definitive. Here's our package.
Now that I think of it, I feel like it's going to be like pay for online, like Nintendo's online thing.
Yeah,
but also buy the games. I think it might be like that.
I'm hoping it's not like that. That's the same thing as referring to Game Pass.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're gamers are familiar with that.
Yeah.
I think general consumers might be more like, well, you know, the convolution of like, where did I buy this? How, you know, I think that's going to add complexity to it that these others don't have.
I just think, I don't know. I feel like Google makes things or simplifies things. So they're not trying to be like, here's $10 for this service to be able to stream a game, and now you have to just purchase your games. I feel like it would be better for a lump sum where like let's say it's $10 for their service. Games buying them are going to be around $20, you know, to buy a game. So then you're paying $10 a month, and then I want this game. $20 unlocked lifetime of that you have.
It'd be cool if they set that up. I think that, but because this is a first, this whole thing, it's going to be rocky. I don't know if we're going to get that clear cut initial package like how you're presenting it. I'm like, that's too good to be true.
Well, the thing is like, so maybe a $20 price point sounds better in the sense of like, imagine split it up. So it's $10 a month for this service. So that's $10 within that $20 and then $10, but you're constantly paying it. So within 3 months, you'd have, or in 2 months, you'd have paid for another game.
Sure.
But you're constantly paying it. So no matter what, even if you're only playing that one game, you're constantly giving money. That's why I think a subscription is better than...
No, yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think it is better. I think it's just going to be harder for them to make those partnerships and deals. And while like implementing this for the first time, the real reality of it, I'm like, I don't think like it sounds like it. They want it to be just like flip a switch. Everyone's on board. We love it. But I think the reality of it's going to be like, there's going to be questions, you know, comment, all this scrutiny and all this.
Netflix is $15 service, and at some point, I think this year they plan on doing like $60 billion worth of money towards I think movie content.
Oh, yeah,
and
new
all that
content?
stuff. Yeah, and I think even at the same time, I think Blizzard at some point had that. They were $15 a month.
Yeah.
and they had like $50 or $60 billion in like revenue.
Sure.
but obviously it's more than just the service. They have other games that they make money off of. And then they have games that have microtransactions and stuff like that.
True.
So obviously there's more to that. But like Netflix alone, with just a $15 service, you know, and in the span of 10 years, they're able to now have like a $60 billion pool of money to do
Right. I feel
movies.
like though they didn't start with like it wasn't as easy.
Yeah.
Like you had put it yourself. It wasn't that simple at start. It started kind of clunky and
Yeah.
like you could do the disc, you could do the digital. Is it really?
But
working?
that's I feel like that's exactly what's gonna happen with Google. It's gonna be super clunky in the beginning.
Yeah.
Service is gonna be terrible, reception wise, stuff like that. But again, for bigger picture is I think this is a stepping stone.
Yeah.
And thinking about it, I think all streaming, like streaming everything
Books?
is going to be books, everything. It's going to be a thing because if you
Yeah.
think about
I
Ready
mean, it
Player
already
One,
kind of is.
yeah, if you think about Ready Player One, it's you put it on and you're connecting to the internet, but that doesn't make sense to me at this point. Once thinking about service, you have internet connectivity, you stream stuff to you, to that headset.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be that way. I think this is a feature. It's just
I think what's
going to
happen, like Google's been the first one to really present it, but Xbox has been working on something. So their market might clash with this.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what the fuck Sony's doing? If they do something like this, or
PS4 or PS5.
whatever it ends up being, but if they go the route of this, or if they stick to their guns, and then there's Nintendo, like everyone wants it to. I mean, Google does such a job of like unifying, much like how Disney does in the movie industries.
Yeah.
And it's both a positive and a negative because like A, for the consumers, like, okay, we're simplifying, we're making it all just streamlined, but B, for competition, that doesn't really help. It just staggers it. And I think that all these other services like the stores we were talking about, the storefronts, Epic Store, Steam Store, competition helps. So I'm curious as these all kind of go up, Google's put the gauntlet out, Xbox and all these others kind of want to answer. I even heard a thing today that Walmart is working on something. Walmart. They're like, Amazon's doing digital stuff. We want to get in that space too because Amazon's been doing movies. They've dabbled with like an online front of some things.
They're gonna stream music, but it's gonna be edited. God, I hate that shit.
That just means buy Walmart stock, dude.
Maybe. But like just knowing that there's so many like even the outlandish ones of like people trying to get into this space.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. It is the wild west of this streaming kind of like front. It will be rocky at first, but I agree. I think it's going to be a cool, just be knowing that like, I don't need to be like, do you have a PS4 or Xbox? Like you just be like, log on.
Yeah.
Boom.
My own.
But the
cell
LAN
phone.
parties are boom.
The big question is Stadia making a battle royale?
Oh my God. They said something like, again, this could
They're
be all hype talk.
cross-play friendly.
Well, that too, but they were talking about the potential. They're like, in the past, for instance, the way their infrastructure works, and again, they're doing little demos, so take it, but in like see where it could go in like 5-10 years. But they were saying like split screen is often not looked at anymore or frowned upon because how much like whatever graphical fidelity you have on one screen is now reduced because you have to do it for 4, and that's why like Halo loses split screen. But like we have removed that challenge. We can now make it where you can have 4 people, you could have 20 people split screen. You could be watching yours, you could be playing yours and watch like having a separate camera be your friends so you know where they're at. And then they were like, in addition to this camera split screen stuff, you could do 100-player battle royales. You could do 1,000-player battle royales.
Oh
like,
my God.
what the like?
Just to put in perspective, they had a thing where they had a game running with like certain graphics, and they literally did Photoshop style where they dropped like a new graphic mode over it. And it was like completely changed.
Oh, yeah,
So,
that too.
Like it was like all plushy now.
Yeah, you could style
it. Was
it-
all like
What's it called?
Interesting.
Uncharted has that as a mode.
yeah. And so, but then they were like, but we can do it, and like it kind of like expands, and it just shows us a million freaking screens. Every single one's a different style artwork, and he's like, you just drop it in there, like it just changes it into that.
Again, this was the advertisement of it, but I'm like, I'm guessing
it's
5
like
to 10
pre-recorded
years.
video,
and-
so it's probably not going to run as smooth as you're saying.
Well, no. I'm just saying like the implementation of that in like a WoW or in like a whatever game that's like so much shit's going on. Like That's maybe in 5 to 10 years,
Yeah.
and it depends on how good the developers are at utilizing it.
Yeah.
So like if Naughty Dog gets on board, yeah, you could see.
All I'm saying is school with computer labs. Just gonna be running games.
Computer lab, done.
I'm telling you, if they can make it into an Excel sheet, you playing Halo?
I saw someone on
In
Reddit.
one little 2x2.
I saw someone in Reddit today being like, "Man, I wish Apex came out when I was in math class." And it shows him with a graphing calculator playing Apex. And I was like, "What the fuck, man?"
I just had Box Boy, dude. Shit.
I just had Galaga and Snake. Yeah, it's interesting stuff. I'm definitely curious what the summer holds because they said it's coming out this year,
2019.
2019. So interesting. I didn't expect it to have that big of a potential impact.
You think they're gonna make something crazy announcement at E3? Google.
So they said there's no console for sure. Like the console, they're like, our point is you don't need one.
The whole hardware thing or tease was the controller.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the controller thing. It wasn't necessary, but it was kind of like, okay, it's cool. Like I can imagine it.
The biggest thing that they sold it on was that it connects Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or Wi-Fi directly to the game you're playing on their system.
Not to your system.
So it doesn't connect to your PC or whatever you're playing. It connects to the game over Wi-Fi. So then when you're playing connected directly to that game. So it helps with latency and lag.
But like stuff like Google Chrome won't work with not Chrome, the dongle.
Chromecast?
Chromecast.
That's how it's doing. They said
That's crazy.
In order to play on your TV,
That's
that
crazy.
you use your Chromecast for now.
That's crazy.
They said in the future it's going to be like built into like smart TVs or something.
That's crazy. They're trying to
I think that they're not building it separate. They're building it into
what they have now.
YouTube and
Alexa, play Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
play T2.
negative John Connor.
Play T2 theme.
I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that.
The chain link fence.
All right. Anyways.
That's my mind right now. Yeah. Next topic.
Yeah, we can move to the next time.
Jang?
Meteor Jane.
Like 2 days ago, I think.
What?
There was a Nindies showcase. So we're gonna go over your thoughts on Nindies. And let me say they killed it. So whenever there's a presentation, you gotta start it off with a bang and end with a bang. And they started off with
Call the police. There's been a murder.
CUP head coming to the Switch.
CUP?
Yeah, Cuphead, dude. For it in the release date.
Next.
I never thought Microsoft would give up the rights.
I think they're partner. Like
Yeah, that's the partner thing.
Oh,
They're planning on like a
or in
releasing.
blindfold.
I know, right? Ori. That's for sure.
E3, dude.
This opens a lot of doors. What?
Halo on the Switch.
But yeah, April 18th is a release date next month.
Halo collection on the Switch, I'll buy it. Dude,
That's not gonna. I don't think so. I don't think
buy
so.
it.
Maybe streaming. If that's the thing.
I think they could run Halo 1 and 2.
Yes.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's all Halos on that thing.
Give me
isn't it?
a Switch version of the bundle, Halo 1 and 2.
Yes.
Here's the Master Collection, but it
Bungie's
only comes
like,
with 2.
we there. You see Bungie show up, Microsoft show up, and Bowser show up.
Destiny on the Switch.
That would suck.
I'm
You're
no
having all these load problems on your... What were you saying?
I'm no good at those type of games, but I'm gonna buy Cuphead. And it's like $20.
Yeah.
Dude. I thought it was gonna be like 30.
It's
So I was
reasonable.
like, oh shit, 20?
Yeah. I was impressed by the release date too, along with the way the trailer started. It was like an old timey thing.
Yeah, showing you how to pour. He's like, let me put on my mask.
Okay, so after Cuphead,
Double Fine.
I guess we're going in order. I don't know.
I only wrote down the ones that
Yeah, me
caught my
too.
interest.
I
Tim
don't even-
Schafer came out and you reminded me of the name Rad. Roguelike.
Wait, that wasn't the next game though.
This is going by timestamp. This is how they posted it.
They fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, F you, Polygon.
Okay, well, just go. It doesn't matter.
Rad.
What did you think of it?
Rad.
You thought it was rad?
Yeah.
I like Double Fine. They got a cool
It
quirkiness
looks
to it.
cool, but I don't think it's a game I'm gonna invest time and probably.
If it's under $20, I think I'll
You're right.
I'll
This
play
is not in order. Fuck, dude. Because
Because I wrote mine, but I skipped ones because I only wrote the ones I was interested in.
Yeah.
And my next one is My Friend Pedro.
Which was after Rad.
Yeah.
But there was something before both of those. Overland Tactic RPG.
Oh, that's the horror survivor. Like,
Yeah, it's like it took what Into the Breach did, which
Yeah.
is like, but Into the Breach did kind of like let you figure it out that you're gonna be not make hard choices. This was like, no, there's gonna be things you can't do.
Like
And
you
there's-
go one way or the other way, and
You gotta save the dog,
Yeah.
or you gotta do this. You better, and they were
And
like,
she's
you
like,
better save the dog. I was like, I like that, and it's a tactical RPG. I'm like, I'm into this.
I can't, like, dude, I'm like a completionist purist, so it's like I would have to do multiple gameplays and
Yeah.
do every path. And
They
I
got
can't
they
do
got
that
you.
shit.
got
Can't do
him.
that shit.
Fall.
Not
That one's
invested
the only thing that disappointed me was the release date of Fall.
in
I
that.
was
Not
like,
invested in
man,
that shit.
The next game, this is in order, I think, is the game we waited in line for.
I never played.
Didn't get to play it.
My Friend Pedro.
My friend Pedro.
So that one, I didn't. So that's a console or timed exclusive. It said,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
So for now, it's gonna only be on Nintendo, which is
My boy.
tripping me out.
Wow.
Like, yeah, I was like, dude, that's where exactly what's happening. Yeah. And then the release date is June, but
Okay,
I'm
okay.
super interested. I never thought of it being on the
Switch?
Switch. Like, obviously, I kept thinking like
I want to
PS4
play
or
that
something
on
like
the go, like
Yeah.
Comic Con.
Dude, it looks cool.
because I feel like it makes sense, dude. They're like super quick, like
Yeah.
do like 100 million combo run, because obviously everything you do is points.
Yeah,
Like, it just makes sense.
I like that one.
So yeah, I'm super interested in that one.
The next game is kind of weird. I thought of Uber. You play as
the
an Uber driver.
Neo
Cab.
Yeah, that was
So
weird.
you had to like
the concept is you're the last human cab driver. The rest of it is all automated. So then you're over here trying to make conversation, trying to you got to have your stars.
got to keep
up.
your ratings up. I didn't. That's the only game that
Gotta
didn't
pump up those
interest me.
numbers.
Didn't interest me.
You know what? Style wise, it looked interesting. I wrote it down and put a 5 next to it, meaning I'm like half interested
okay.
compared to everything else. Yeah, because what really captured it was the graphics. It looks really nice, and it has a summer release on that one.
Next game kind of interests me. It's roguelike. It's called Red Lantern, where you have to
yeah.
race. I don't know.
Yeah,
race with
I guess the concept is the girl feels like she's not going anywhere in life, and she wants to do something. So she wants to get in this race that is like a dog's. What is it called?
The
Dog sledding.
I did a rod.
I did a rod where it's you essentially like have a sled with dogs and
You go long distance.
Yeah, you go long distances. So
I
she's
thought-
training for it or whatever.
You mentioned roguelike. I didn't know that. I thought it was like Firewatch.
Yeah.
Like a story focused.
yeah,
like
driven.
yeah.
story-driven game with a roguelike element.
Oh, okay.
You'll need to.
Well,
survive.
there's different paths you can take.
Well, I
and
guess
stuff.
because it's survival part
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I was interested in that one. When was the release date? I didn't have that one written down.
It just says later.
Yeah,
this
it
year.
said later. Yeah,
Later.
I
this
wrote
year.
down just
Crazy.
later.
2019.
Damn.
The next one is Darkwood, survival horror. Yeah, that was just like
I didn't even write that.
you
down.
just gotta like build stuff to survive traps and fortify your basement. Survive the night.
Yeah.
Next game I
I think I
posted,
wrote this
posted before.
Katana
Zero.
Yeah, that one for April 18th.
So when they were talking about it, and at some point they're like, "Yeah, you're one hit kill."
Yeah.
Like I was like,
I was like,
"Ooh,
dang."
Dark Souls."
You know what though? Like the thing they showcased wasn't as good as the trailer. I wish
really?
they showcased the trailer instead of
Oh.
that. The
I
trailer
still think
is
it was
a lot.
pretty good because it shows the abilities you have. It shows the rewind when you die.
I would have liked a trailer with that.
Mm-hmm.
Or like a shortcut of the
It was
trailer.
funny because I posted, please release this for the Switch, and
They listen.
then we already talked about Rad.
Yeah, after that I had Rad.
The next one is Creature in the Well.
Yeah, I wrote that one.
That was cool. Like pinball.
Did that interested you?
yeah.
It was like pinball and
The way-
rogue-
yeah,
was it
it-
roguelike?
No,
Or no,
it was
no.
just like it reminded me of Hyperlight Drifter mixed with pinball.
Hmm.
Like the art style and everything. Like he's just swinging around and
So when I watched the whole stream twice.
okay.
The first time I just had it on and I was playing games and I was like, I should probably pay attention. And then I replayed the whole thing. And when when I watched it the first time, it looked cool. I watched the second half of like the actual gameplay. When I watched it again, I watched the first half and it starts like you as like it looks like a whole pinball setup.
Yeah.
And then you're pretty much like the ball hitter. And so you're kind of
Again, it falls into like, is it under 20? Is like 15,
Yeah,
10
yeah.
bucks? all right, sure, I'll give it a try. I think it'll be like a worthwhile for
it
that
looked
value.
interesting,
If it's
but-
like $30+, I'm like, you got to be offering me something more, or like giving me a really cool story, or like something really compelling.
Yeah.
But I liked what it was trying to do. It was different.
This next
The
one,
next one we've played.
we've
played before.
Talked to those developers. We didn't
Yeah.
interview them though. But
Blood Roots.
I'm 100% down. I thought this would be one of those where it's like it's out now or something.
yeah,
You know, playing
summer.
Ape Out, it kind of reminds me of Ape Out a little
In
bit.
some ways, yeah.
I feel like this has more
Substance?
oomph. Yeah, more substance to it
Yeah.
than Ape Out, because Ape Out seems very, very plain.
It's
compared to
for all
this.
intents and purposes very basic,
Yeah.
but it does a lot with what it does very
Okay.
basically. I think Bloodroots is cool where literally anything you can pick up is a weapon.
Next one I'm not interested in because of the art style. Pine.
I'm super interested in this. This is
one
like
is this one?
You
this is
gotta,
like
like-
that 3D Zelda one. It started with like these two things fighting, and then like these kids come out shooting arrows. The trailer.
Primal Fantasy open world action game.
No, I was not into this.
Dude, I'm so into this, dude.
Okay,
Because it reminds me, it's like a
What does it
3D
remind you?
version of Zelda, but like it shows a part where he's fighting creatures, like he's swinging the sword, and it says like creatures evolve or change depending on your decisions. So like I'm assuming if you go like range or something like that, they start building like armor or ways to deflect arrows. But if you go more sword, they get more like attacky, you know, like
I think when I looked at the trailer, it reminded me of like maybe not WoW or vanilla WoW, but maybe like those vanilla old MMOs
Yeah.
where there's a lot of empty space and a bunch of people with like their names. Like it made me think of that. I'm like, this looks dated, but maybe there's some substance, and it sounds like there is something there.
It might be dated. I agree with you, but the thing is, like, I'm thinking it's for the Switch. Like,
Yeah.
I welcome less usage on the land because I feel like that's gonna not bog like my system down.
As long as it's doing something in
Yeah.
place of that. If it's not,
Yeah.
I don't know. Not for
I
me,
get you,
but
I
I
get
can see what the appeal is.
Next is it's a collection of games. Only
like
a few got released, or one got released. Lame Beer Arcade, and so yeah, Super Crate Box, Nuclear Throne. Actually, Nuclear Throne. Actually, I'm interested.
Yeah?
Yeah.
which is out now.
It's like a roguelike.
Yeah, I saw it in the shop. Actually, you mentioned Nuclear. There's another collection that wasn't in the Nindies. I want to just throw a mention at. It's the Konami collection.
Castlevania, Contra. Dude, they're just they're reaching because they don't have Kojima.
Konami's just keep sucking.
Yeah.
We got this dry tit.
I think that's what they're. To be honest with you, I do
Powdered
think
milk.
I do think they're I do think they're milking what they have.
Oh,
But like, yeah, I think they're
They got
done.
nothing, dude.
I feel like they're done with like the gaming thing, like that.
pachinko,
It's
baby.
pretty much yeah. That's the gaming thing that they're into. But yeah, when it comes to video games, I think they're done because that's pretty much
Just
what
wait. They're
letting
like, we
go.
got one more Metal Gear Solid collection on the Switch.
probably
That tit's just gonna be.
yeah. That's just gonna open up.
So like I said, I suck at these type of games. It's a shmup. It's called Swim Sanity, and it's like there's versus mode
Oh,
and
yeah,
co-op
yeah.
mode.
You know,
it's like a
when
submarine.
I first saw it, it reminded me of that game that we played at indie arcade or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Where you had to collect the
I forgot.
gold
That was a
and
fun
you're
game.
fucking trying to kill you.
That's a fun game. And then there's a boss that's trying to take your gold and like. So, I'm probably in the minority, but Blaster Master is a fucking classic on a Nintendo. So they released.
I'm not familiar with that, but it looked fucking legit, dude. It
Why?
reminded me
Why
of
do you
Zelda.
love it?
I don't know. I just have fond memories of it.
Okay.
So just nostalgia. Maybe.
Never played it.
Well, it's in the Nintendo like online thing.
Yeah.
Maybe if I play it, I might not like it. I don't know. I liked it, but I bought Zero Part 1 and I haven't played it yet.
Wait, there's part 1 and part 2?
Yeah, there's a part 1's not that good. I think.
Wait, but this one comes with 2 games, no? Or this is only
this is a
literally
sequel.
second. I'm not interested anymore. I thought this meant like
What?
it was 1
Why?
and 2.
No.
There's
I
no,
thought
like-
it was.
It's only
buying both.
$10.
I know, but there's no like complex story
Still
to
not
follow.
curious. I still wanted 2 games in 1.
Hey,
That's
but it
what
came
I
out today, so or that day.
Yeah, that day.
So, and
$10, bro.
and the perfect segue to Karosha's topic, the last game.
There's 2 games. There's 2 games left.
There are.
Yeah, at the
There's
very
the one,
end.
There's the Segway
Oh,
one.
go, shit. Okay. We'll talk about. Okay, we'll come back to. Well, I'll just say Stranger Things season 3, July 4th comes out the same time.
I'm not interested in that game, dude.
I am.
Sorry.
I'm hoping they do what they did with Scott Pilgrim.
You know what it reminds me of?
Shit.
Zombies Ate My Neighbor.
Yeah, that's exactly
That's
what I was
what
going to say. It
exactly-
reminds me of Zombie and My Neighbors, and I've played it recently. Not interested.
I mean, if it gets good reviews,
It's a really good game. Zombie and
I'll
My
pick
Neighbors,
it up. I'll
but
buy it and don't play it. In 2 years.
Just say you own it.
I just hope it's like how the Scott Pilgrim beat 'em up was when Scott Pilgrim the movie came
It
out.
kind of looked like that because there's a scene where it shows the one of the
Hopper?
kids' moms. What's her
Winona
name?
Ryder.
Yeah, Winona Ryder. She does a twirl and just like tornadoes through
They said there's
everything.
like 12 characters playable. I was like,
Oh shit!
all right, it could be fun. Like if
Demogorgon.
I'm into the franchise and it's cheap.
If I can play the Demogorgon.
Play as the teacher, the mustache, and then the last game,
The best game.
mic drop,
Cadence
of Hyrule.
I like
And
completely
I've-
misspelled that.
Been interested in Cryptid the Neurodancer. I never picked it up.
Yeah, what I have no idea what it is.
It's like a rhythm game with
Oh, really?
like
This look. I thought it was when I read it when I saw the trailer. It's like for the sequel to Crypto Dancer. I'm like, what? And then I was like, wait, is this them featured in her game? And then later I was like, no, it said the makers of. Okay, that's all I wanted.
but the music in that game is A+.
It looked like it had a cool rhythm and beat to it. I was like,
It's really difficult
Yeah?
from what I heard. I've never played it. I've seen videos of it. But I heard it's really hard to play.
but the big appeal is Link and Zelda.
Yeah. And it's
Show
a
up.
third party.
I know, dude.
So she's like, it's funny too because she's like, this is a strange world, but luckily I have friends.
All of a sudden,
Hell yeah!
Yeah, dude.
I was like,
Oh
wait,
my
what?
God, dude.
And then all of a sudden, yeah. I love that art. The art style looks so cool. And I'm like, we're getting two Zelda. And it said spring 2019.
Yep.
Yeah.
And May
It's like
is summer.
May
Summer-
28th.
Yeah, the last day of spring.
Yeah.
It's cool that we're getting two Zelda games in 1 year. We're getting the Link's Awakening
Right.
revamp.
Rayman.
And we're getting this. And I love that it's a third party because the only one that I can think of besides the Warriors game was Oracle Ages and Seasons that was through with Capcom. And I was like, that's one of my favorite
Yeah,
Zeldas, personally.
But they made, to be honest, they made Oracle's or the seasons
Yeah.
like feel like a classic.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't know it did. I didn't
you
know
would
it
have
until
never
someone
told
told me.
exactly. You would have never known if you didn't look into it.
Right. I'm hyped.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
So the thing was, when it wasn't until you said like they killed it, I was like, did they? Because when I came out of it, I was like, that was solid, but I wasn't like amped. I'm like, wait a second, let me run down all the games that I was into.
Yeah.
Like not what they showed, but just the ones I was into. I was like, I mean. I call that a success. Like they got me into like 10 different games that I wouldn't have even known
It
about.
was the same thing. So I watched it twice.
Yeah.
The first time I was just playing and listening to everything, and I was like, "That's a cool game." You know, that's a cool game. Like I'm like, you know, I should probably rewatch this and write down like these cool games. And I wrote them down. I didn't realize like how much. Like,
Yeah.
till the end, I was like, dude, I wrote down a shit ton of games. I was like, is this the whole thing?
President of Nintendo's like, got his money. Got his money.
It's a good
Yeah.
prop, you know. It works for everything.
Yeah.
I'm just not interested in like 2 of the games, but everything else, I'm like,
I think
I'm
in terms
down.
of presentation, I wasn't like they killed it, but in terms of content, I felt like they killed it. That's probably what I was feeling. Like, I thought the start and the end really killed was the wow moments, but like in terms of just like here's a cool game, here's why you would like it or not like it, not just like what even is that? Like, I think if they stuck to just cinematic trailers, that would have veered more in the I don't know what this is. Maybe I'll kind of consider it, but showing as much as they did of each one was really cool.
Yeah.
it would have been cool if they showed the messenger, like something.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, what the? It comes
Well,
out this year. Like,
I know.
Summer.
Well, I think they just recently did the whole. It's now on PS4, so maybe they're in that whole promo cycle, and who knows when they'll do another thing. But I was expecting more from stuff like Messenger, Hollow Knight. I don't know, a few others that were familiar, not like a whole new things that we'd never really heard of. So that was cool. Both cool and yeah. So
Stranger Things.
I've seen Stranger Things.
The game.
Speaking of Stranger Things. as you've so kindly segued into my topic.
2 years later.
This is it, guys. Episode 111.
Stranger Things season 3, finally.
No spoilers.
We got. we're gonna give people a chance to watch straight this season, but this is a spoiler-free review. No, it's a spoiler.
Did you guys like the trailer? Season 3's?
I liked it.
I didn't like it.
I liked it.
I thought you did.
I saw it as like a good, like they had sections.
Yeah.
There's the beginning where it shows like the whole thing. It shows like the whole drama within them growing up. Like, hey, we can't continue.
Some of them are better. Some of them are in darker places.
And then the end was like, and here's all the crazy shit that fucking happens at the same time.
I thought the use of Teenage Wasteland was fitting, and also the way it cut the way the trailer could kind of build up and let loose at the end. But like, it was kind of a shocker to see them grown up in that trailer. First, okay, so I guess let's go through this trailer first, because that's what kind of prompted.
Yeah.
I was like, this is as good a time as any to finally talk about season 2 of Stranger Things. But yeah, that trailer, I don't know, like that was the most jarring part, was seeing Will and them just like not children and more teenagers. But at the same time, I was like, this is kind of cool, interesting, because I think when we thought of the original season of Stranger Things, you think of like the kids in Goonies and the little kids in all those 80s movies. And now we're at the teenager age. It's like, oh, there's a lot of those types of movies too that they can pay homage to or be inspired by. And I think that
Breakfast Club.
I mean, like you go into all those the John Hughes movies and the Nightmare on Elm Street type of stuff, and some of these other things where like in the hormone, teenage kind of stuff where. And like the older siblings are now like becoming young adults.
Yeah.
Like, who knows like how that? And then you have the parents as well, which I think is cool. Normally in that type of stuff, the parents are just like, we're the adult figures. We're kind of 2-dimensional. But having Hopper and having forget Winona Ryder's character be presences and have things that they're struggling with and stuff. I think it's a setup for cool potential stuff. No, that's my thought.
But so you didn't like the trailer, Jay?
It was all right. Season 2's trailer was better to me.
But it lied to you.
Because of the Ghostbuster thing?
Hell, I mean, there's a lot of cool things.
Yeah. No, the Ghostbuster
thing.
It did
lie. It betrayed me.
It gave you
It whispered in my ear.
Don't watch.
2 years.
And so you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it, yes. Okay. But it doesn't mean I'm interested in watching it.
That's fine. I don't expect
I will try to watch it within 2 weeks.
I will try to believe you. Okay, so with that, let's go. Stranger Things Season 2, the review. Full, whatever you want to say.
This thing's been out forever. What are you talking about?
Do you guys even remember it?
No.
We waited long enough after you've seen it.
You know what? Let's come back to this after we recap.
So I kind of wanted to like at least provide a structure.
Okay.
If you want to use it. If not, you just give free ball it.
Let's do it.
I was going to say, if you have stuff you want to talk about that you liked, that you didn't like, that you wish you saw more of, that you wish you saw less of, and again, going to season 3, where you would like to see it go. Like any of the thoughts you have in the following.
Man, so what did I like? What didn't I like?
Don't say everything at once about that part.
Let's go with what I didn't like. Let's just start out.
Go for it.
Strong with hatred.
Get the bad out.
You've mentioned, and you brought this up, there's a scene where she goes away from the town.
An episode.
There's an episode. Now, it's very fucky, I guess you could. Like, it's really
episode
weird.
69.
It's a really weird episode. The thing is, like, it makes complete sense. Like, they're trying to.
Is this wait, we're doing spoilers, right?
Yeah, go. Say what the hell
is this the episode where they meet the mom, or when she meets the other powered being?
Meets the other powered being.
Yeah. Where she's hanging out with them. Yeah. They're doing all the punky
the idea
shit.
is this girl helps her create a better power. Like, she's like, you can move this train, and she moves it, and then she comes back with badass powers. Like, it's just her, but it's just like it's too fast.
I think it was just that she was able to scale up her power.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
Like
I guess she was able to kind of tone it.
It's like the Magneto.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, all being done in one episode, it's just like it was too fast. It was like thrown too fast at us, and that's why it just seems out of place. So that's one thing I didn't like. It's just that specific episode. It just seems so...
Yeah, the way it was done.
Yeah, I feel like looking at a timeline that's all dark, and then this is a white part in this black. And it's like, what the hell is this part doing here? You know, like,
yeah,
it just stands out. It's awkward as shit. But the thing is, the thing that I hate the most is that it makes sense to me on why it exists. I just wish they did a better job with it.
The thing is, it served a purpose of what you're saying, like just getting her from this point to that point. She went from like rebel, frustrated, to now she's like, no, I need to go back to my real friend. It's like, I get it, but like maybe piece it out or like have them be like, it felt like we halted everything else that's going on for this to happen, and now we're going back. I'm like, it didn't work for me. Like that flow didn't.
And it
work.
did feel like a pause in the show, like for what's going. Like literally, like there's a moment where he's about to get eaten, and then it just pauses, and you're like, okay, let me see why she's so powerful. All right, let's go back to, and then like he gets attacked by the girl, and it's like, oh, you realize like, oh, it's because it honed her skills, but like it just seems so fucking awkward. So that's I think what didn't even help it more was I didn't really care for, or the characters weren't as interesting for me, of the friends she associated with. They felt very tropey. And bringing that back.
And that, like, with the other characters, I'm like, everyone else is kind of like a homage to a trope that we're used to, like the Gizmos and Gadgets kid, the know-it-all, the outdoorsy. But they're like, they each have their own personality. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel that with these other people. I'm like, I don't know. It felt like the effort for them wasn't as much.
It was weird too, because it made it seem like the guy was like the head of the group, but then there's points where the chick who's training 11 seems like a badass. You're like, oh wait, no, she's the leader, and you just, there's confusion there. But throwing that back to the very beginning episode, like it shows these characters off the bat. Like it shows this girl, and then like at the end of that first episode, it shows, I believe it shows her number, and you're like, oh shit, she's just like 11, you know? And you're like, they're gonna come back to this. It's gonna be so cool, and they come back to it, and it just doesn't go well with that.
What did you think of that one, Jane?
I like the fact that it opens up a possibility of seeing other powered beings.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean...
They fail miserably.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Like...
Okay.
It was just...
Was there anything else that you guys didn't really, like, wish...
Bratty 11. I understand she's grown up and she's doing a rebel, but I don't know. Like, 11 in the first season was so cool, and she's so curious, and, like, she had to study ET and it was just cool seeing her character, but seeing her in season 2 all bratty, I was just like, dude.
It makes sense to me though. And
yeah, it makes sense.
What's funny though is it makes sense because I'm seeing it firsthand. Like my sister is in that stage with my mom. Like she's super freaking bratty, you know, to the point like super annoying. And you're just like, dude, like, but like it's a phase. Like she'll get over it. She'll realize like I'm doing the things wrong, you know, stuff like that. And it's something that happens with 11. The only thing is it's awkward because there's no real transition into that. It just like, it's all of a sudden like she's there bratty.
Because of the time it jumps forward. It's like they built up this tension
I think that's
that we didn't see.
That's what that little awkward part is for me.
What I appreciated though from that, I know I didn't fully enjoy that, but I mean, I don't think they intended to make it enjoyable. They wanted to show that it's frustrating. I enjoyed it, or I appreciated or enjoyed it, that of the challenges it presented for Hopper. Because for him, it was like, he's sort of been a caretaker and he kind of got forced into this role. But now it felt like it was his challenge and test of whether or not he wanted to be a father figure, more so than just a caretaker. And like, he's opened himself up to her. He cares about her. And you learn. And one of my favorite, I guess this is kind of like me going into what I liked. I liked learning about his, like what happened to his daughter. And like, was that was the season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like I'm blended at all. No, yeah, but like there was subtle nods to like he had her like there was a little bracelet.
Yeah.
And like where was it with him or was it with 11? And I loved that of like him growing and being like, I want to be a father again or a father figure again for someone. And 11 was that for him. And that relationship, it wasn't like a replacement, but it was like they had formed a relationship. And I don't know, it kind of had a Joel Ellie vibe to it for me in some ways.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Out of the brattiness, that's what I got. I was like, is there anything else?
What tripped me out, the scientist dude is the guy from Mad About You.
Yeah.
I just realized it. I was watching it towards the end. I was like, wait, that's Paul. He's also in Aliens. So I was like, wait, this guy's the Mad About You guy. I was like, holy shit, it's aged.
Up until Aliens, all I knew him from was Mad About You. The curly-haired guy with the sandwiches. The other thing that I would say I didn't like or I thought was weird, handled oddly, was the older brother to Mad Max. His whole, like, outside of his confrontation with, who's the older boy? The babysitter kid?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The bat with the spikes at the
Steve. Dad Steve.
Besides his conflict with Steve, his, like, just general attitude, I was like, okay. Like, it just, every time it came up, it cranked it to 12. I was like, I'm not ready for this. And then it would go away and it would go back to 1.
You know,
like, what the fuck just happened?
I didn't like Steve in the first season. I liked Steve in season 2. Dad Steve. Mentor Steve, dude, to dust. Don't ever do that again.
I like that. Outside of that, just like him with all the kids, it was like what's that movie where like I'm the something babysitter, where like one of the kids is wearing a Thor helmet.
Adventures of Babysitting or something like that.
Yeah. I forget what it was called, but
Adventures
they like
of
met someone
Babysitting.
who they were like, that's Thor and all that stuff. Like he was the babysitter character. I was like, see, that was a cool homage for me. I was like,
I mean, he was a dick in season 1.
Oh, yeah.
In season 2, dude.
Well, I think the thing is, in season 1, he was like the character that he's fighting now.
Right.
You
He
know?
was the bull. Yeah. Yep.
It's coming back.
Marcus,
He's seeing himself in that. And he's like, damn, I can't be like that.
that could have been me. I look hot.
But just to also bring up, like, this is all character building because in season 3 they have it in the trailer where he's super cool with Dustin.
Oh my
They're
God,
like,
that's one of my favorite
they're doing
moments.
the handshake, and the girl's like, you just hang out with all kids, like, or whatever. And he's like, see what I'm
I
talking
almost
about?
thought that was Winona Ryder. I was like, what he works with her?
But
wait, she's young.
But that's character building from like the season 2 where he like became really good friends with the guys. Like he literally went through like
the transformation.
yeah, like well, I mean, he almost died with all of them, and like they got close together, you know. So that's really cool, like to see that. And like, there's also you talking about. I realized like he was the bully in the first season, and now he's like kind of seeing.
And
that.
not just the bully, but like he got rejected from the girl, and I was like, oh, he's just gonna be tossed away. He's like, no, we're gonna see him grow now in a different way, and he's like over her, and he's teaching.
And they show
all
Mad
the
Max's brother, so maybe character building there too.
Well, yeah, he like there was a moment that really threw me off. I was like, what the?
Where he looks at the girl looks back at him. Is that
No, not in the trailer. In the season, he's in the mirror and he's like getting his hair ready, and he does like a hip flex. He's like, I was like,
dude, he rubs. I think it was baby powder or cologne in his balls or something like that, doesn't he?
maybe.
Well, he's a cougar hunter.
Yeah.
Hello, Mrs.
Did you know he was in the Power Rangers movie? He was the Red Ranger.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
yeah. He looks older there, younger here, which they did a
wow.
really good job with that.
Yeah, his character just seemed like caught me off guard. I'll say that. And some of the moments seemed weird, but
Yeah.
that was one of the things I had a gripe with.
Yeah, the biggest thing was that episode specifically, where she leaves, and then just the first 2 episodes for me felt so slow, and that was the toughest thing. Like I literally, when I first saw it, I watched half of the first episode. I was like, you know what, I'll do this later, and then we find
2
out.
years later.
Well, it was a little bit later than that. I found out you had already finished, so I was like, I gotta, and I managed to force myself within that same week to finish the first episode, and I was like, you know what, I'll hold off on this a little bit longer. And the second episode is the one that took me forever to be able to watch.
Dude, season 1 had magic. This season 2 just fucking
I
grip
think it
me,
just
dude.
has to do with like it being something so new to us. Season
versus
1
familiar.
versus now it's.
I don't know.
versus
Just
now it's familiar.
things seem tacked on. Like, Ghostbusters in it. Let's just tack it on. Huh? But in season 1, they like tacked on stuff like Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, that's pretty fucking cool. But like, dude, it just felt lazy the way they tacked on. Like, it's like Ready Player One, the movie. Oh, we'll just put in The Shining. We'll put in this. Yeah, it's 80s.
Well,
And this was like,
which things did they besides the Ghostbusters? What else did you feel they tacked on?
I don't know. The Ghostbusters was.
I understand. I can see what you're saying with that one because I thought like okay, like what you're saying with D&D, it became an element of the story in which how they like described the monster and how to face the monster. It became like a a thought process that they could understand of like how to approach this that the parents didn't.
Which in that sense doesn't feel
Ghostbusters
taxed on.
was literally, we're Halloween, we're gonna dress up.
Yeah.
That's all it served. It wasn't like we're gonna use our knowledge of Ghostbusters, and somehow it kind of happenstancely intertwines with things.
I mean, they use the Ghostbuster trap box as like the holder for the thing.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think that's anything super significant. It's not like
But
story building.
what I want to understand is, was there other, you thought like just tossing
I don't
it?
remember. There was probably a lot, and I was just like eye rolling, like,
I looked at it more like for instance, there was one Demogorgon, now there was like 100. I saw that in my eyes as, okay, there was Alien the movie, and then there was Aliens the movie. And the reason it was less of like, it wasn't as scary, I would say, but even the first one wasn't scary to me. But this one was more of like, we're familiar with these creatures now. We know they exist. The unknown isn't there. There is more unknown, but it's like not as far of a stretch of imagination. The first one was like, what the fuck are we dealing with? There's another dimension, all this, like, it's that shock of like, like you said, familiarity both for us and for them. I think now that they know of a lot of this, it was more of just like, can we endure and go through the bigger challenge of like all this stuff? It may be like, I'm wondering if the third season is its final. If like in hindsight, we'll look back and say like season 2 was a transitionary, like they're going through stuff. But again, it's like they were kids, and now in this one they're like a little bit older kids, and they've had.
To me, at least from the trailer, it seems like season 3 is that transitionary, because like you see them physically look older. Like,
oh yeah, I know. Well, yeah, that's true. What I meant was like between season 1 and season 3,
gotcha.
There's this weird point where it was like a year past, versus like however many more.
they didn't kill the thing, right? They just closed the portal. See, I don't even remember like what happened at the end.
There was the giant thing.
Yeah, and I know there's an elevator.
No, because what happened is there's a dance at the end of season 2.
Yes.
They have their dance. 11 gets to dance and everything. And then all of a sudden it shows the school, and it shows the upside down, and the giant thing is above the school and the
like
upside
pissed
down.
at all of them, probably.
So he's there.
Oh, okay. So it's not dead.
So they closed the portal,
Yeah, they closed the portal.
but he never. Yeah.
And fuck. No, that was it. Yeah.
And then obviously some of the Demogorgon things stayed alive as well, I believe. Specifically his dog. His Demogorgon, right? It never died, right?
No, it died.
Did it?
Sacrificed itself, I thought.
I don't remember. That's how forgettable.
This is the best.
That's how forgettable it is.
No.
Okay, do you remember details of season 1?
Yes. Name something.
You name something.
Ghostbusters.
What items did the older sister and the older brother of Will buy at the hunting store?
I knew there was
traps.
a trap. Yeah, bear trap. A lantern. There's more stuff, but
How much did it cost?
actually, I don't know.
I'm kidding.
It's $200.
I know they say we're going monster hunting.
Yeah, that was one. I love that one. Anyway, okay.
No. So there's the scene where they're underground tunnel. He gives his pet the food, and they're able to escape from that guy. And then, but everything else is chasing them because they know that they have something that all the creatures are trying to get, or they're trying to get to a point. I think so. Or I'm not sure what it is. And so his dog stays there. I don't remember seeing his dog actually die, or not his dog, the cat.
I know Bob dies.
When I say dog, I mean his.
We're gonna get into that in a second.
When I say dog, I mean his Demogorgon.
Yeah, I know
creature.
what you're talking about.
That's what I meant. Yeah, I don't see him die. Does it die? Do you recall it? If you say
I'm trying
yes,
to
I'll
remember.
believe you.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember.
Okay.
Off the top.
One good thing that Stranger Things does is casting. Like since it's like Aliens, they got Paul Reiser, and then it's like Goonies, so they got Bob.
Astin.
So I mean that casting.
The best character of season 2.
So okay, let's move on to the things we like then.
Okay.
Bob
Saget.
was weird as shit in the beginning. I thought he was going to be an enemy, to be honest with you. It was so awkward.
I thought he was going to be the Steven of the mom. Like the weird, like, I'm going to defer your son and like send him off because he's weird.
No.
Like kind of like that off-putting antagonist, but for the mother versus like a boyfriend.
I saw it as like, it was very awkward to me. Like the very beginning scenes with her and Bob, And therefore, like, because of the awkwardness, it made me feel like, okay, he's gonna be a bad character. He's gonna end up like, whenever the mom's not around, he's gonna like beat the shit out of
What? Holy fuck!
No, like, well, not beat the shit.
got
But
dark.
he's gonna
Strange, darker
like,
things.
I'm exaggerating, but he's gonna like tell him like, hey, this is wrong. You shouldn't be doing it like this. You shouldn't. Like, he's gonna start like disciplining
Scolding
him.
him.
Yeah, scolding
okay.
him and doing stuff like that.
Okay.
But it never got to that point, and so for me, because I was expecting it, it got even weirder. I was like, he's helping him out. This is really awkward.
No, like Sean Astin. I'm like, there's not a fiber of like evil in him. After like, because like
Mr. Baggins.
I did feel a little off put at the beginning, but then like he made a few corny jokes. I'm like, he's just gonna be an awkward dad, and he might like. I was like, he's gonna just be in the background.
Yeah.
And then he starts helping Will, and I'm like, in a way that his mother couldn't. Like he was offering advice and trying to be supportive, and offer an outside perspective. I was like, he's really like a cool guy, and he's like like another good father figure, kind of where Hopper struggled. I think had like stuff to pull from, and he knew how to channel it. And he wasn't like the most outspoken or anything. He was just like, I work at Radio Shack.
I think that's why.
And I know my stuff. And then like the tearjerker for me, and I got messed up. I got kind of like, I was like, stop the other stuff. I can't watch. I need to take a break. I took a little bit of break before I watched some more.
Spoilers.
What? No. I mean, this is spoilers.
I know.
But like when he dies and everything, and he like after everything they went through, you're like, he's kind of like,
He dies?
and like the part that hit me even harder wasn't that he died and sacrificed himself. It was when they found out that the club that the kids all met and became friends through, he founded.
He created.
And he wanted that. And I'm like, that's some good like world building.
Yeah.
Like, but he
brought them together.
He took what was already something we appreciated and gave it a little bit more in a way we didn't expect, but it felt natural.
Yeah.
It felt like I could believe that it wasn't just like thrown in there.
Yeah.
And I love that. I was like, that's really cool.
What I was gonna say, yeah, is it completes the circle for me. It was like awkward in the beginning. For me, it was awkward all the way until the point where he gets to the house when they're like all staying there, and he's built this whole entire map structure of the underground shit, and he goes like, this is Lake whatever.
He was so supportive.
And he's realizing, but it's still like, because the whole time I'm thinking like, dude, he's gonna be a bad guy. Like, when is it gonna turn bad? Like, that's what I'm thinking of. So I thought he was just gonna start tearing it down or something like that. But he's like continuing to be helpful.
Yeah.
And then the part that like it closes, like it finalizes, like, you know what? He's not a bad guy. He's gonna be a good guy. Is when they're in the
Upside down?
No,
that building.
Yeah, that building
With all the Demogorgons?
Yeah, exactly. Where he's like, oh, I can do this, and he's like, I'll go because I can do it. I'm like, fuck, he's gonna be a fucking hero. God fucking damn it.
Bob the hero.
And sure enough, dude.
And then Will draws the man. He's the best. That's like one of the main reasons I love this season as much as I do. For all its like troubles, it made me care about a character as like I didn't care about any of the kids as much as I did Bob in this.
But that's literally from the middle of the whole season to the end.
No, I mean for me it was not. It was earlier.
Yeah.
But I understand.
But yeah,
did you have any positives that you want to highlight?
I like the beginning and the end, and that's it. The middle was a fucking.
What'd you think? Okay,
slow ass burn.
Yeah,
I didn't feel it that way, but yeah.
Well, like, I know the first season felt very much like there's a monster and Will's captive, but this one felt more like Will's possessed, and it had a little bit of that Omen Exorcist vibe, where it's like
it's cold.
Where it's like he's tied down. Like, wait, are we talking to Will or are we talking to the thing?
It's hot in here.
Did you like that or not like that?
I actually liked Will in this season, but
well, did you like that element of like the horror and the inspiration it had from those things?
it was all right. I mean,
I've liked the titling of these episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Like with that specific one, like the spy, when they realize like
Mag Max.
Yeah, and what's so cool is like you look at these titles and it's not like too bad of a spoiler for you.
Yeah.
And as you watch it, you realize like, oh fuck, the spy. Oh fuck, Mad Max.
It's like how you were describing the 4 memes earlier
exactly.
of like unless you know what happens in the episode,
they do such a good job with the titles of these episodes. Yeah. I do like that. But yeah, I actually really did like that. I liked it once you realize, obviously, that this is going on. And there's the whole point where he plays shy the whole time. But once like that thing's taking over and you're trying to get it out, like when they put him in the hot water and he like gets fucking, she's like, I need out of here. I need out. Like,
well, no, even when they were in the hospital and they were going to give him the shot or something, he was like, no, or like he said some things. You're like, something's off.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That kind of gave me an eeriness. I'm like,
The
shit.
drawings.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't talk about it? Show us.
Fucking freaky.
I know Kung Fu. Show me. Starts drawing.
Okay, then what would you guys like to have seen more of? Jane?
More Demogorgon. Not enough Demogorgon.
How would I fix season 2? That's how,
Yeah, okay, go about it.
I have
that
to
one.
think about it. But
Okay. We'll come back to you.
Well, yeah. I think it was fine. I would have to change. The thing is, like, I don't know how, like, I'm not really good at changing this stuff, but I feel like episode 1 would have to be written for me because that was just
So if it started on a quicker note.
yeah.
Jump
I think
right
if
in.
it started with them, like it showed them like kind of like going about their time, you know, like they're like they feel like everything's kind of been dealt with already.
Yeah.
And then maybe season 2 like flipped, I guess. So season 2 would or episode 2 would be what season 1 was or episode 1 was, where it shows the introduction of that new girl.
Okay.
And you're like, oh fuck, what the fuck? There's another girl, and then from there it kind of just stays itself. So I probably would have flipped episode 1
And
and
that
2.
you think that would have
I
helped?
think that would have helped me. Yeah.
Okay.
It start with them because it felt weird. I was like, even when I saw it, I was like, wait, is this fucking Stranger? And I had to pause it and look at it. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's why. So like, you have to like invite me in first before you throw me away. And they just threw me like it was a door to outside again, dude. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, that tripped me out.
season 1 was just magical, dude. I don't know, like I'm gonna give an example of season 1. Like, she had to study ET a lot, so I'm expecting ET, and there's a scene with bikes, and then there's a van coming towards them. I'm like, oh fuck, they're gonna fucking fly. But instead, she like does the whole. I was like, whoa. I don't know. It just seemed there was a lot more battles. I feel like in season 1, like conflicts and like bullies, and then like they're on the cliff, and then like she like kind of like almost pushes the bully off, or they fly, or someone gets thrown off, and she like flies with them, and it's just I feel like there's a lot better conflicts in season 1, and season 2 was just drawn out. I mean, there were conflicts, but not really. The conflict was just one long conflict, and it was showcased at the end. And I was
Which conflict was that?
Demogorgon? Or Will's probably a conflict too, but there weren't that many conflicts and resolutions. I don't know what I'm saying. Season 1 was just magical, dude. Fuck, man. It just did not have that magic.
What would you want to see more of? Jang. No, I'm just kidding. Kurosh.
For me, more of I don't know. Like
More Bob.
I don't know. That's a sensitive subject.
Don't talk about
I don't know. Like yeah, I guess more moments. Like I think a couple of things that I didn't. Everyone was kind of like doing their own thing, and then it just came together in the end. I think that made it difficult at some points because like was it. I'm mixing seasons up again.
You're fine. Tell me and I'll tell you.
Was this the season where the girl, who's the girl that likes 11? I forget. I'm mixing up names too.
the girl that likes
the
11?
boy, the boy that looks like a girl.
Finn Wolfhard?
What's his character?
Fuck.
Will is the possessed one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His best buddy.
Oh.
There's
No.
Dustin?
No,
Dustin
Dustin's
is the
Yeah.
tooth friend tooth. I know you. The main character, the one
Mike?
who's in.
No,
Is that? I don't think there's a Mike.
man, we're the worst.
It's the main. It's the guy that's also in. It.
Mike. Yeah, it is Mike.
Oh, shit.
It is Mike.
God
Dustin Lucas is the Dustin and Lucas have their thing. Mike, where Mike's older sister and her kind of boyfriend go off and try to talk to a journalist.
Oh, yeah.
Was that this season?
That was the
Yes.
season.
That whole thing felt weird to me.
Really?
Like just them going. Like it felt weird how many people like everything felt like its own little thing.
Yeah.
That it felt like nothing was cohesive. I felt like last season things were going in their own directions, but it was towards the end.
Yeah.
And then it quickly looped back in. Like everyone was like, okay, I'm your brother, I'm your sister, I'm taking care of you. You have your group of friends, I have my group of friends, but we're still sort of mixed in. My boyfriend is bullying you, and like it kind of was entwined. This one felt like, okay, we're gonna go off and do our thing. We're gonna go off and do our thing. Dustin and Lucas are gonna go. Everyone's just doing their own thing, and that I think is where I get the drawn out part from. Where I was like, it just feels like everyone's just doing little pockets of, and then especially with the 11 episode, and everyone's just like, okay, we're gonna, and then once we've all dealt with our shit and realized we came together, and I'm like, I get it, but maybe had a little bit more entwining. Like, yeah,
I mean,
I thought it was cool how the one thing that I liked that entwined was getting stuff like the Steven and Dustin moment, where it's like he shows up to help. It's like, oh, we don't know what this dynamic's like. And it became something really cool.
Yeah.
I wish there were more moments like that of like mixed up team ups of like, you wouldn't expect
I
sister.
do feel that Mike's sister and Lucas,
they had something.
They had something, and that's that build is there when they go talk to the journalist. Well, he wasn't a journalist.
Conspiracy theorist.
But
not
Lucas.
not Max and the other two.
Mike's
Nancy and Jonathan.
Jonathan, that's who I'm referring to. Nancy and Jonathan. Yeah, when they go talk to the conspiracy theorist, that's for me. That is their character building and getting them together, like showing them get together. Because the whole time it's just like the awkward moment between them. Like Jonathan likes Nancy. You're not sure if Nancy likes Jonathan. And that moment, it kind of just seals the deal. But the whole time, it's building that character.
Bad for Steve now, dude.
Why?
He's good.
Because
he's on it. He's good, and he's like
he's Jamie Lannister.
I learned from that. I'm moving on.
He's Jamie Lannister. He's leaving.
But you can also tell he hasn't fully moved on, because he has those moments where he's like he thinks about it. You know,
I don't think he thinks about her. I think he thinks about that feeling of companionship.
Yeah,
and
which he's getting from Dustin now.
Yeah,
but. Season 2, I could feel the tension between Hopper and Winona Ryder's character, and we'll see that.
Yeah, and it was interesting how like he was sort of like there, and he was filling a void that Bob couldn't, because they were familiar with something and an experience that they had, but at the same time like respectful of that relationship.
Yeah.
And then when she needed support, he was there to like be a shoulder to lean on. That was I agree. That was. But yeah, I think if that's something I wish there was less of, or maybe there was more of like other cool like team ups, like it kind of outside of the Max and Lucas and Dustin and Steven, I felt like everyone else just like paired up with the people they normally do. I was like, this is just like isolated little things, and I don't know. I feel like that could have been made more fun. There could have been more fun with. Now. Last thing, given everything they've done with this, what do you want to see? What would really be enticing to you with season 3, given what we've seen?
I want to see more of the demigorgon, like the giant demigorgon creature.
Yeah.
Either like physical fighting, like contact with him.
So you want like answers with it? Like what is it?
Not necessarily answers. Okay. I want to see its true abilities. Like I don't feel like we've seen that. We've seen that it can control creatures, do that, and even have creatures that infect someone. You know, like it's was it spores, or was it a creature that it controlled? It was like spores, wasn't it? That was infecting
something like that.
Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it was the essence of itself.
Yeah, exactly. Which it was able to get while he was like dreaming in the upside down, which you realize I guess it wasn't a dream. It was like physically there or something. But I want to see more. Like, I want to see what it's capable of, if it can, like, because it hasn't destroyed anything. You haven't seen it just crush things. Is it possible to do that? Like, does it things that happen in Upside Down affect the real world? Like, these are things we haven't had answered. I need fucking questions.
You'll get the answers 2 years later.
What would be enticing to you?
It's gonna sound messed up, but I feel like there's no real world consequences. We need to see a character die.
We've seen.
Yeah, but she came back.
Well,
Bob. But I mean, like,
there's Bob,
main core character.
He turned into
sacrifice.
Damn it.
He was not a core character.
So if you saw, like, for instance, Max dying this season. Would that not be a
Oh
corker?
no. It has to be the original
the OG.
one of the OGs.
Okay,
So someone
And it would be
said
crazy
that's-
if it's Finn Wolfhard's character, Mike.
Mike.
That would be crazy.
For me, it'd be crazy if it's Will. Like if his torture never ends, dude.
That would suck.
Yeah. That would
He's
be
cold
crazy.
all the time, and now this.
It's cold. Gets crushed.
It's hot in here.
What if it was a adult figure? Like, what if it was like a
Hopper?
Hopper, yeah. Hopper or Winona Ryder. Those are the two.
I feel more bad if it was Hopper.
Wow. That's fucked up.
Because I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so something
We
that
need
gives
some
more stakes or consequences.
Have George R. R. Martin write it. Take me 10 years. It'll take me 10 more years to watch it.
It takes you about as long to finish Stranger Things as it takes him to finish a book. So
If you want me to watch it right away, make your episodes good. That's what I'm saying. Dang, shots fired, Duffer Brothers.
Hey, just call them up. Okay? Just be like,
I mean,
I got saying this.
step your game up.
okay.
So what would you want to see, or what do you feel you might see? And
I like what you said about like getting some things involving that thing, the giant shadow thing that Will's been drawing for years now. I would like to see some answer to that, but I feel like that's gonna. I feel like the way they'd answer it is with the science, that weird experiment shit, and that's like one of my least favorite parts of the show.
So you're telling me they're gonna have weird science?
Science.
They're going to get the character from Weird Science to star in it, and he'll be a scientist.
He'll be the new scientist.
Like, I don't know, like where the father figure for 11, whoever that person was that like tortured her and all this stuff. I feel like it's gonna go back to him in some way, shape, or form.
Because it shows two characters sitting like what looks like to be like in front of a principal's office, ready to go into the office or something like that. Do we know who those two characters were?
I don't remember.
For some reason, I feel like one of them was Will Ferrell. For some reason,
Ron Burgundy.
This might be completely like just my imagination making stuff up, but I feel like I read that those two characters were Eleven's real parents.
Ooh.
But the thing is, we've already seen her mom. Like she talked to him, or she talked to her.
I was let down by that, but that's.
It was.
It made it mysterious
It made a
and-
weird journey of it. I thought it sucked what happened to her, like that realization of what had happened to the mom.
But I
know-
like how they did the realization.
you know what it
realize
was-
everything she's saying are things she's seen, and she's repeating it back like a hook. Like
you know
to
what
remember.
it reminded me of? That's why I didn't like it. Cowboy Bebop. Remember the Pierre, the very weird episode where the guy's like, he's like cat, and then like lion, and then orange, and then it's stuff that he's seen. He's just like this killing machine. Oh,
You didn't like that?
I've seen it before. That's why I don't like it.
Because it's
But you're talking about like E.T. and you've seen that before and you like it.
But it was,
I don't get it.
But it was done in an unexpected way. I was expecting if they flew out, man. But they did the van flip. I was like,
Okay.
oh, I did not expect that. You threw a
so
twist.
they faked you out.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought of Hold the Door. I see your Cowboy Bebop. I was like, man, that sucks. Anytime someone says words, I'm like, this is just gibberish. I'm like, there's some deep, sad stuff going on that I don't know if I want to know.
hold the door.
Fucking mess me up. Yeah, I'm worried that it's like that science stuff is interesting, but in doses. I think when they lean too hard into it, it can take away from the essence of the stories. I like that when it's like about a town and they like figure out how to do things when they like all work together, and through their unique abilities and little things, they just manage to make things work. Like Goonies, like all these other things that we've mentioned, they manage to figure out how to make things work. I hope they do more stuff like what Jeng's saying, where it's like homage to things, but in new and interesting ways, rather than just like throw it in your face. And because like one thing in the trailer that I saw, and it makes you think that there's some menacing thing. It showed this guy with a gun in a leather jacket, and they make it look. He shows up twice in the trailer, and I'm like, I don't think he's a threat. I think they're watching a parody Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Because in one of the scenes, I froze it, and he has like a split in his tooth.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I think it's a joke that they're just doing in there to make it seem like there's action and tension. But there was another guy that I saw. I was like, I'm getting some strong Busey vibes. Not Gary Busey, Jake Busey, like Contact,
Yeah.
demonic possessed vibes. And I was like, if they lean in that direction, that could be interesting. Like some weird, like not alien people, but like weird people in the city. Like lean in that Stephen King route of like, don't make this the Stranger Things freaky, make the normal things freaky.
Hey, they live.
So I hope that's satisfied our audience. I feel satisfied. I feel closure.
I feel like
more than anything else.
People are gonna see this title and be like, Stranger Things. Oh shit! Go to listen to it and be like, the fuck they're talking
Hey,
They don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Hey.
They don't know the characters.
Mike, Steven.
Why is he calling him Finn Wolfhard? His name's Mike.
We're the best Stranger Things fans out there. When you want to hear Stranger Things news, ask us 2 years later
at asktheweeklydlc@gmail.com.
Hey, we're not done yet. What the fuck?
I'm just plugging it in there.
Okay. Cool. That's cool. Do that. All right. Closure. I feel like if I was a ghost, I would have been haunted for like 2 years, and now I'm like, I'm finally free.
Constantine.
All right. What have you guys been up to this week?
I've set up a new tattoo.
You getting one?
I'm getting one in April 27.
Have you heard of this thing? It's like a website where
A disease?
No. They give you a fake tattoo to make it so you can see what it looks like.
I get that all the time because I follow a lot of artists. I follow artists that I'd like to get a tattoo from, and it's funny because like
You get a fake like just.
it's like a trifecta of like a bunch of artists I'm able to get a tattoo from, but like I don't have enough money to get one from every single one. But I'm going to be going to New York in June. I have an opportunity to get one because one of them is in New York. There's a few I found that like are in like Hesperia, which is like an hour drive from us. From me. And I was like, damn it, dude. And they're all available. But I just had to choose one. So
Do you know what you're getting tattooed?
I do.
Are you going to tell us? Or
Do you guys want to know? It's lame.
I want to know.
Anime. It is
Graven Firefly.
it's Seven Deadly Sins.
Okay.
There is a main character called Meliodas, and he in the show you find out he's like part of the demon race, but in the show all demon races are bad, but he is not, and it turns out he's actually like top 2 within the demon race, and he's trying to like not be a bad guy. So he has like a demonic form, and I was like, everyone does that shit. Like if someone gets a tattoo from about this, they get him in his demonic form because it just looks really badass. I'm getting one where he's drinking the famous beer or ale from the show, which is Bernia Ale. So I just want him just chilling, taking back a beer.
Where's it gonna be?
On my leg. Yeah. On the same one I already have the other tattoo on.
Oh,
So,
interesting. Excited to see what it looks like.
yeah, I'm excited to see what he
When's
does.
the trip?
Well, that I'm getting here in April. But the trip is
Before
in
your
June.
trip.
And I might get another one there.
Damn! Once you get one, you get addicted, dude. That's the truth.
That one, if I can get her, it's gonna be. I've been thinking about getting the log and the fire spirit from Howl's Moving Castle. So I want the log here with him.
Constantine.
I don't want to get anything out in the open. So yeah, it's gonna be like underwear if I have a shirt. And it's gonna be the log with the ember dude falling down. I kind of want to get that. So that'd be really neat.
In New York?
And that's gonna be in New York. Yeah.
I thought of an idea of one, but it's more of a funny thing. But it took us.
Stranger Things season 2.
Fuck no. I'm diehard now.
Just Stranger Things.
No, I was like, if I got a tattoo of something, it'd have to be something that I just like. It's a symbol of something I like, and it's simple. It's not like I didn't want text, so I was like, oh, I love Tetris. I'll get like some Tetris thing. I'm like, what would it be though? And I was like, this is where it went funny. I was like, what if I got a T block on here and one here, and then when I dance, I'm T spinning, baby.
No one in the right mind would get anything like that.
Hey, I bet if you Google it, Tetris tattoos, you're gonna see shit like right there.
Human T spinning. That's all you gotta write. Nah. Other than that, though, I had the free copy of Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
All right.
I finally downloaded
through the
it.
Chrome test.
Yeah,
you
through the
did.
Chrome test. Played it on my new PC, and dude, it's a fantastic game. Super enjoyable.
You're enjoying it?
Yeah.
How?
I really like
So
it.
did you pick the girl or the guy?
I picked the guy.
Okay,
I felt weird playing a girl as a
that's
guy.
fine. I mean, everyone. This is one of the few times where I always pick a guy, and I haven't started that game. I have it, and I want to play as the girl because I kept hearing she does a phenomenal job in like
Voice-wise?
like acting. Yeah.
Okay, because from my understanding, it's like the exact same story.
That's what I understand too. But I think her performance was.
There's even scenes where you have sex with the women, and as the girl, you have sex with the women.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a funny story. This is like sidetracking, but there's a guy in online game. He picks a girl and he meets a girl online, and she's like, "Oh, I never knew there was another girl." And they eventually he says he's lesbian. They get into a relationship. They cyber. They do everything, and then they want to meet up. She wants to meet up, and he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta tell her that I'm a dude." And then the guy, the girl's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm a dude." Playing as a girl. He's like, fuck, I've been cybering with the dude. Got him.
Now,
So you're playing that?
yeah, I've been playing it, and I am. So what's funny is you start the game on an island, like a piece of land, essentially, and you do like I feel like it was a good amount of quests. I did like 8 to 10 quests on this island, and then you finally get a boat. Literally, when you leave on the boat, it freaking starts the whole like
Title sequence?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I played so much of this game
There's
because
a lot
I
of the
did
game.
everything that there is to do on this. I was thinking like, I'm gonna just do this, and then once it opens up, you're just like, oh my god, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different of those sizes. I was like, I just got too goddamn much, dude. Oh my god,
Damn.
yeah, it's
Guy,
huge, dude.
Blizzard Tech Sports like, shit, we're losing him. We're losing him.
But yeah, dude, it's huge. But
Cool.
it's got the whole boat mechanic that Black Flag had, where
heard that
you
was
get
fun.
a crew. Yeah, you can shoot out at different boats, and when you destroy them, you're able to board them.
Okay.
And you have to kill the whole crew member, and you're able to take everything off the boat. Or you can just like when you destroy them, you can hit them one last time, and it just completely sinks it. So you don't have to worry about taking over those
okay.
guys, but you don't get as much loot as if you were to board it.
Cool. I gotta get started on that game.
Really fun game. Yeah. Enjoyable. I've dabbled a little bit back into Anthem. It keeps giving me issues, but I think they're looking to update it next week, and I'll probably be back on it.
Nice.
And then Sekiro tonight. Well, I can't pick it up tonight because we're recording, but tomorrow I'll pick it up on lunch probably.
Jay.
A little bit of Devil May Cry. We're done.
You finished it?
No.
We're just done.
I just like, man, I can't focus on games anymore. I just lose. I'm in this weird spot where I just lose interest. I'm like, oh, God, I'm done with this.
Do you feel like you need a break from games, or is it the games you're playing that's giving you?
I don't know. My mood changes. Like, oh, I'm gonna play Apex today. Oh, I'm gonna play this. So, and then, like I did, my blood level 4 run.
You're doing difficult shit. I think that's what's happening. Yeah. You gotta do stuff that's enjoyable, like play Sekiro.
Yeah.
It stresses me out. To be honest, like I was like thinking about it. I was like, dude, okay, so I need to finish the blood level 4 run. Technically, to be a 1 bro, you just have to beat the main game. I don't have to do the DLC.
Yeah.
I don't even have to do the DLC. I have to beat the last boss.
But I'm gonna do the DLC.
I have 2 more bosses left. And
You
I feel like I'm so far ahead, I might as well just fucking just push it through. And I'm at probably the hardest boss in the vanilla game.
And you say that because it's taking you 3 days and you sound
No. It's arguably there's 2 walls, the shadows and this space thing, and 3 days.
Take a break.
Which I don't feel bad because, like you said, like we've watched a streamer. I think she's better than me in Bloodborne, but she was stuck on a DLC boss for weeks.
Yeah.
I remember she was stuck on it for weeks.
And at some point, she wasn't even playing it. She would play it consistently, like every day. And after a while, she was like, "We'll play something else for a bit." Like, it was tearing.
And
her
I feel
apart.
like Kratos in God of War games, my rage meter is building up. Like I could feel getting angrier.
See, that's
and
where you just turn
angrier.
on rage mode and you just win, dude.
And it's crazy because people in the chat will say like give me tips, but playing on a Blood Level 4 run is a totally different game. Like if you haven't, there's only one other person that's done a Blood Level 4 run, but I'm farther than him, so I can't really get tips
In the
from him.
world?
No. That in my chat.
Oh, okay.
So like,
I was like, the fuck?
No,
Dude, you're so close.
Which is crazy is I don't know why I picked the hardest game to do a Blood Level 4 run. Dark Souls 1, 2, 3 are easier to do Soul Level 1. Bloodborne is considered the hardest one to even
That's
attempt.
why he did it.
I didn't know that at the time. I was like, it can't be that hard.
Your body knew.
And I think it's just because you enjoyed that game, so you wanted to like continue
It's
playing
fucking. It's probably Ninja Gaiden 2 is hard. It's cheap.
Yeah.
This is also kind of cheap. But
Some of the runs I saw last night. Oh, poof.
one hit. Normal enemies are one-shotting me. There's normal enemies. So I'm going to have to play it because my muscle memory for that boss is still fresh. So I'm going to play Sekiro and play that. But I don't
Something
know.
I've heard about Sekiro is it's not as hard. It's not like what Blood and Souls are in a lot of ways, where it's not as difficult. But it does new things. So I'm curious how it does new things.
My mind is ready for Sekiro.
But is your body ready?
Your body's like,
We're losing him. I finished Loaded by Joe Hill. And
Oh, okay.
He's going to be at WonderCon.
what? He is?
Nosferatu is being made into a show. They're screening it, so I'm going to try to catch that.
When? What day?
Saturday?
Oh, fuck. That day sold out, so I'm like, that's going to be a hectic day.
Yeah. But
Did you ever finish that one book? It's like the African.
you know
Game of
what?
Thrones?
My new thing is if there's a game, there's a book, there's a movie, you're not feeling it, hey, it's okay to stop reading it, stop playing it, and move on to the
Okay,
next
I
thing.
didn't
agree
know.
with
I didn't know
I
you,
agree.
that you like lost interest.
Yeah, just cut it and just fucking
So
go to the
you
next
lost
game.
interest.
I have a feeling I'm not okay, so I'm not that invested into Sekiro. Like I'm not like, damn, I really want to play it.
But I think once you play it, you will. But we'll talk about that
Yeah,
later. Okay.
but I might just not play it.
at all.
Oh no! I will play. I'm still stuck in that Bloodborne. Like,
Yeah,
I gotta
no, I
beat.
understand.
I gotta beat
There's
this
no
boss.
pressure.
But yeah, Loaded, dude. That's a heavy ass story, dude.
It-
Yeah.
My logic with you is if you do touch Sekiro, it's gonna feel refreshing compared to Bloodborne, and you're gonna want to play that for a while.
I thought that with Devil May Cry for him, but you lost interest in that.
It's just the same shit.
Well,
It literally is the same shit. I'm doing the same bread and butter combos, which I know how to do, and it's like,
which is why I think Sekiro is gonna be better because it's also made by
from software.
yeah, from software, which is what's his face, Miyazaki.
Miyazaki.
Yeah, Miyazaki.
That freaking troll. Dude. The traps that he has
Okay.
prepared for me.
If you got to meet him in like how you've met like Chuck Palahniuk, Palahniuk, you guys are buddies. And you could like say one thing or ask one thing. What would it be?
Trophies. Ba-ding.
No.
Either tell him something or ask him something.
I would ask him something. Telling him something is nothing. So I need information.
What Harry Potter?
No. I would say, fuck. I want to ask him many questions.
What
But
goes
it have
through
to
your
do with
mind?
boss. It would have to do with boss or what's your favorite, like if you were watching someone stream and you devised like a trap door or a staircase that leads nowhere, which diabolical thing do you go, yeah, like you anticipate, like, yeah, I fucking got him. Like that's like what troll moment would you
Down
like?
the ladder and just.
I hate the fucking. Okay, so when you go to a boss, there's these elevators, but sometimes you forget to bring the elevator
Yeah.
up. You just fall down. Like, because you're in a hurry. Like, I gotta get to the boss.
It's like a cartoon.
I gotta get to a boss. Or like you go up the stairs and there's a fucking boulder rolling down. You're like, oh shit.
My worst moment is like there is a ladder that led nowhere. It was a broken ladder. So when you slide down, when you slide down, you do the fast slide, just, and you're like, why the fuck is this ladder even here?
I bet that's his best.
Yeah, that was oh my god, dude.
Gotems.
That happened in one of the Dark Souls games, and I was just like, you know what, dude, it might not be for me. This.
At what point in the fall did you realize
Well, because it doesn't like it. He has it set up perfectly. It like leads. You look down, completely black, but you're like, there's stairs. Okay, there's no way I'm gonna die. And there's the ladders have always never been broken. So you just do the fast slide like any logical person would do.
No, what's even worse is when like other players troll. Oh, so Sekiro doesn't have.
The notes thing?
Yeah, Sekiro doesn't have multiplayer. That's what I found out. No one can PvE you, but like there'll be notes like, oh, a hidden path here, and it has like 400 volts.
Like you're like, I believe him.
Okay.
Those I haven't fallen for. Like, I mean, if I look and I can't
this
see
is
shit,
400 volts.
I don't care. If I look and I can't see shit, no, I don't. It doesn't even
After
matter.
that lesson,
It's like Indiana Jones, the fucking sand,
Yeah.
Dude. Perfectly safe. I run through, fucking boulder just running.
Super high for WonderCon, but that's pretty much it. Next week.
Okay. Playing Destiny, Season of the Drifter has been fun. Chipping away at some of the stuff. I'm wearing though on it because like it's back to they raised the power level. So my first thought is before I do any of like the content specific stuff, I just want to grind the dailies or milestones or whatever to get me to that power level. And it's got to be like I mentioned before, like a chore. It's like, all right, today I'm going to do these, and it's playing the game, but it's to get me to this goal. And the only reason I'm doing it now is so that later I can enjoy it more. But I'm like, man, this is chipping at me. So I'm trying to like maybe reduce the amount of time I'm doing that and stop playing. And then like Katie and I will watch some Star Trek or what else do? We watched some stand-up. I watched Jimmy Carr. He had a recent stand-up. His stand-up is a lot like Ricky Gervais, very like controversial, kind of like not raunchy, but like pushes the edge a little bit. And like it's enough for me to be like, oh, it's clever and it's fun. I don't know, I get a kick out of it. And then on last Friday, so I had been caught up with Destiny on my Hunter because I boosted him through the original content, and now he's locked out of stuff from the past, which is fine. Whatever. But he's all caught up. He's done all the story beats up until now. My Titan, same thing. My Warlock, who I started on PC, got through all the other content, but when Forsaken came out, I never did that content forward. I was like, I don't want to go through this story a third time. Aldrin killed Cade, all this shit. I'm like, I don't have it in me. And then Friday, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it tonight. I can do it. Because I wanted to do, there's a quest in the game right now with this new content that's interesting because it's the first time Destiny's kind of leaned in this direction with like, I think, factions the way it has. It's sort of Horde Alliance-y, where the Drifter is sort of this like chaotic agent that's at the base. And then you have the group that is like, we're the Order. And you've been faithful to the Order, but they're like showing signs of just like faltering from time to time. And so you're forced in this new story thing to side either with the Drifter or to side with the other people. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, each character you have, your alternates can pick other options. So I picked with one of mine to be with the Drifter, and I was like, I want my Warlock to be with the Vanguard. I was like, but I need to get him to caught up. So Friday I was like, you know what? Let's see what's on Netflix. And I was very excited. I think I mentioned it last time to watch Love, Death, and Robots. And I think I was able to get through all the Warlock stuff because I literally wasn't even looking at it. I was like, I'm just jumping, progressing, end mission. Okay, next thing, click. Like he's able to be at the current power level, but just he was locked out of content. So everything I shot was just dying. I was like, this is easy, but it was just mindless. So it was perfect for watching this because eyes were glued on this. Did you guys see this?
I did. I was gonna bring it up right now. I was hoping you bring it up.
I found out that it's based on short stories.
Yes.
Every single one.
They're 10 to 12 minutes tops.
I'm going to have to watch it.
There's some really good ones.
It'll take you like an hour and a half to 2 hours to watch the whole thing.
No, there's 18 of them.
18, and they're all 10 minutes. So it's 180 minutes.
That's what I said. So
That's
you're
2
right.
hours and 20.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They're not always the most compelling stories.
You saw all of it?
Yes.
Is the Hitler one good? That intrigued me. I was like, ooh.
Did you see that one?
I don't know. So I
How many did you watch?
I haven't seen the last 5, I think.
Okay. It's one of the last 5.
Okay.
There's some really funny ones. There's some really violent ones. And there's some that fucked me up.
Is the Ken Liu one good?
Which was that one?
He wrote The Hunting. It's called The Hunting.
In this
no,
one?
Good Hunting, I think.
Good Hunting.
Fuck, which one?
Magical Fox. Turns into Mechanical Fox.
Oh, that one
good?
was good. That was
Okay.
one of the. In my opinion, I thought that was the most. Like a lot of these felt like snippets of a story, but didn't have a good ending. This one felt like it had a beginning, middle, and an ending, and I think it was one of the longer ones.
Yeah, so I wrote that as one of my. So I only wrote 4 episodes on here. 1, 4, 7, and 8, and those are my most favorite out of the ones I've seen so far.
Let me see. You said 1. I remember 1. 1 was a good start.
Yeah, 1 was good. Yeah, I even told my coworker, I was like, dude, 1, it starts out nice. It starts out strong.
I might watch it tonight, dude. Since it's only like 10 minutes, watch some of it.
Yeah. So 1.
The thing is, it hooks you. Like you watch it, you're like, oh, I want to watch.
Okay, 4 was like a video game.
Yeah, 4. I put 4 as one of my favorite ones too.
And then what did you say was the next one?
7 was my next one. You didn't like that
I knew
one?
you would like that one.
Really?
That one
Simulation.
fucked me up.
Really?
I was like, we could talk about it. I want to go into deeper thoughts, but what was the last one you said?
And 8, which was the Good Hunting, which is the Mechanical Fox.
That was good. I mean, a lot.
He writes good short stories.
Yeah,
so
I guess.
that was-
Okay.
John
Yeah.
Scalzi wrote a couple.
You can tell,
Really?
like watching all these stories. Number 8 or that Good Hunting. It really feels like a nice story, like beginning to end. Like it's really beefy. There's a lot going on.
Some of the other ones felt like they were pilots.
Yeah.
Like, here's a demo of what we could offer in a full-fledged
Exactly,
feature. But what was interesting was the way the logo shows for each episode makes me think that it was the same people that worked on Black Mirror in some way, because the way the logo starts, it does the but with its logo, I'm like, that's too familiar.
And then you watch episode 7, the Aquilin. Let me see.
Aqua Rift.
It's called Beyond the Aquila Rift, and it's fucking good.
It's some good visual, like all of them visually. That was one of the best visuals, and The Witness was one of the best visuals.
The game, The Witness?
No, the Witness, the one with the.
I don't think I've seen it. If that's one of the last 5.
No, it's one of the first ones. It's right after the first one. It's
I
the
guess I
it's
didn't
the one
care
with the
for it.
BDSM.
Oh, I forgot to mention, I watched Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel.
What'd you think?
Marvel. Meh.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was weak. I thought it was weak, man.
You know what? It's one of the things, like, they borrowed stuff from shit and didn't execute it well. Like, you know who did it well? Into the Spider-Verse. They copied stuff from, like, you can't cross the streams.
What did you think about the scroll and the?
So
The way they handled Skrull.
that's cool. I mean, man.
But you didn't call it though.
No.
right?
I
You're
didn't.
trying to count.
I knew there were traders, but there were traders.
Got
in it.
him.
But
No, okay.
to be honest, I think they. Damn, I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I feel like they tacked on like refugee and put it into the story. Like, you know how
Refugee?
like in the news, there's always the
The message of that.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like it was tacked on.
I thought, if anything, that was one of the more interesting parts of the. Like, if that didn't happen in the story, I would have been like, "What's the story?" So, what they did with that main guy, the main Skrull guy, I felt like he was, in terms of like, regardless of what direction they took his story, his personality was more than what I thought. I thought he was just going to be like a flat villain, and he seemed like a very like charismatic just person.
Spoilers, like one scene that they stole from Jude Law at the end. He's like, let's.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I was like Indiana Jones. Like, I was like Indiana Jones. I mean, if you're gonna copy something, do it better. Like,
Okay.
that's.
I don't see it as a.
There was
copy.
there was other things too, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But I did not fuck that flirkin. I did not put.
That was
Shane
so
Dawson.
goddamn stupid,
No,
dude.
fuck.
How he loses his eye, dude.
I put
Oh.
2 references.
Yeah, I know he did.
Vargas didn't get it.
No.
Shane Dawson. Okay, never
He's
mind.
been putting this tweet out. He's like, I did not fuck that cat.
Cat.
And he's
I
saying
did
the
not put
fuck-
my dick near that cat. So someone tweeted,
Yeah.
I did not fuck that flirkin, like just to joke around. Like,
No, I don't know anything about
Did
that.
it bother? Okay, I want to get in a little bit of spoilers. Spoilers, Captain Marvel. Spoilers, Captain Marvel. What?
Stanley tribute
Nice.
was cool.
Oh yeah, the
The
homage
intro,
part.
yeah, that was cool.
And then Kevin Smith
oh, that was so fucking cool, dude. The Mallrats,
Wait,
that was good.
I might have missed that.
when he's reading the newspaper.
the script.
That was the script. It was the script for Mallrats on it, and Kevin Smith's like, "I'm being referenced in a Stanley thing," like, and he showed a picture of himself. He was like teary eyed.
That's like Stanley's first cameo.
Yeah.
To my knowledge,
one of his.
that was cool. I feel like okay, so they're trying to throw the nostalgia, like oh, we want to hit the nostalgia. The
I don't think they leaned into it hard enough.
The music did not. I was just like, eh.
It didn't click.
Yeah, I was like, eh.
Like it was there, but it felt like it was just there rather than like being there for a purpose.
I take that back. There's only one song that I thought clicked. Just a Girl, no doubt. I was like, oh, okay.
No, I didn't think that clicked.
I was like, okay.
I like it sounded cool, and I could have seen it in an earlier scene. I thought if they were going to do that, her action was going to be way more badass. Like the way that music came in, I'm like, okay, she's going to go like Thor Ragnarok and just whip everyone's ass. But it felt like she was getting her ass kicked just as much, and I was like, just fucking like I don't know.
I had a
Maybe
problem-
it's the choreography.
I had a problem with the lighting too. I just felt like it was too dark. Like the whole, like especially a lot of the scenes was like just dark. Like, huh? I can't see what's going on. Like,
The other part, okay, this was a scene. I want to just specifically talk about the scene, and I'll move on, if you guys want to. When her and Nick Fury are talking, after he first meets a Skrull, and they're at the bar, and he's like, "How do I know you're not a Skrull?" Or no, when she says it to him, and he's like, "I'm not," and she's like, "All right, tell me something personal about yourself," and he says something, and she's like, "All right," I'm like, "You don't fucking know this guy. How do you know that's true?"
all right.
And then that's my first, well, like, what? I don't understand. And then he's like, "How do I know you're not a Skrull?" And she shoots something. And I'm like, how does he fucking know that Skrull can't do that?
Yeah.
Like, neither of them acknowledge that or explain it. And then they just move on. And I was like,
I felt okay with his answer. I don't remember what his answer was.
it was just something personal.
No, well, there was two. She said, "There's like, okay, now tell me something like weird and personal."
no one
and
else
he's
would
like,
know.
"I can't eat like
Sandwiches.
peanut butter or whatever."
And I know
Yeah.
that we would know that because if you look at other movies, there was nods to like how he's eating a sandwich in like a scene or two in one of the Avengers or
So I was okay with his. Yeah, hers
But like
was
she
just
wouldn't
like.
have known that.
Yeah.
I know, but like the thing is, the way I took it is she's looking for something strange. Like, and the fact, like, I don't feel like a Skrull would be like, "Yeah, sandwiches, I don't like them." Or like he wouldn't come up with that. It would have been something much more simple or
Not detailed? Like-
yeah, not detailed.
But I guess the way then she asked the question is like, say something that would be like the way you answer that make like.
no, I found it
I
acceptable.
like to wear my underwear backwards.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird.
I feel like a Skrull wouldn't know how Earth works, so they wouldn't say something.
Yeah, but they somehow know how to talk our language, do all these other things. Like it's this weird gray area. I don't know. It threw me off.
Okay, what if instead of Just a Girl, what if they were and they sing "I Get No Doubt"?
Yeah, that would have been good. Yeah,
But with the same her getting beat up.
Listen to night.
I don't know, something a little bit more like loud.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a feel good song,
Yeah.
but not like a Led Zeppelin immigrant song like level song. I wanted that. Like just crank it up.
But then
Ronan, I thought was the dumb in this one.
that
Like,
wasn't even the same actor, right?
It was
Yeah, Lee Pace.
Lee Pace. It was him. They just didn't have.
He looked. He looked a little.
Yeah, he looked
different.
completely different to me.
Well, it's because he didn't have the war paint on.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I'm like, why doesn't he have that? Like, he just looked like a.
I
normal-
didn't even know that was war paint. Like, or that's
I don't know
something
what
that
it
they can
was.
change.
Whatever the hell it wasn't there in
But
this
that's
one.
not normal, right? Like he should always have that. Like that should be his character. That's not just like actual paint. Like I'm ready to go to war type of thing.
I don't know.
Okay.
I just know he had it in Guardians, which
Mm-hmm.
is in the future, and he didn't have it in this.
I feel like the way she lets him go is the stupidest thing ever. She just flexes and they're like, "Let's leave." And like I was like, "What the fuck?"
It didn't.
I would have just murdered all them all. Dude.
There were humor points. There was two that made me laugh. But I don't remember. I don't remember. A lot of them just did not fell flat though. A lot of the humor points, I was like,
I hope, like, what I was thinking was, with Thor, the movies, the first one, I don't remember not liking. I don't remember loving. It kind of happened. The first Thor, I was like, Loki's cool. Second Thor, looking back on, I'm like, I did not like that.
It's bad.
But at the
It's
time,
bad.
I was like, this is getting me between whatever the movie before this was and whatever the next Avengers story is. And then the third Thor was amazing. I'm wondering if this movie will have a similar arc in some ways in terms of her character growing.
But this is the first one, so I mean that means.
Yeah, but I'm saying like this is like the first Thor where you just like
I feel like this is closer to what Thor 2 was. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I'm worried about. So
but
either,
after Thor 2, we got Thor 3.
Exactly. So either this next one has to be amazing, or the next two are going to be like kind of both either amazing or mediocre or whatever.
Maybe.
But this just isn't a strong start for
it made money,
for
so
Captain
I'm
Marvel.
good for the people. I just hope they take it in a more exciting direction. Like I'm not against like her being good, but I just felt like nothing hit with me like the way I've been hearing it hit with people. I'm like, I don't like everything you're saying. I didn't like it. Wasn't.
I feel like the hardest hit for me for this franchise has been Guardians of the Galaxy 1. That was like amazing, and then Thor Ragnarok came out. I was like, holy shit! Like they're gonna do great with this, and like this is kind of like.
And I'll put Iron Man 1.
This has been jarring me.
Third
like,
spot.
This isn't what I've been wanting from them, but we'll see where they go with Endgame.
So going back, love, death, love robots. Whatever.
Yes, fantastic.
I loved all of it. It was fucking weird, and I was up till like 1:30 in the morning watching them. I was like, next one. Oh,
Yeah,
next one.
It's the reason why I stopped. I stopped like at 11 o'clock.
And like it doesn't give you a lot of time to stop because it's like normally you get like 8 seconds. It's like 2, 3, go.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
like
all right, fine.
It's like an Adventure Time episode, just bite size.
Some of them don't feel like. Some of them feel like a lot. Like
That one,
a big ass burger, dude.
Yeah, that one you were mentioning the
Good
guy
Hunting?
Yeah, Good Hunting.
Yeah.
That one was the longer one.
Yeah, that one feels like a good sized burger.
There's a lot of titties and there's a lot of dicks for everyone.
Hey, episode 7, dude.
69.
Plus 7.
So I watched that.
There was a couple trailers that came out.
There was John Wick.
Came out today.
I haven't seen it.
Fuck, I'm hyped.
I watched Stranger Things.
I'm not
and
hyped. I haven't seen a single one.
You haven't
And
seen
I
any?
saw the trailer and I was like, eh. You know what turns me off? Western action does not like fighting scenes. Like I like the way Hong Kong style, just no cuts, just they're skilled. And
Have you? Okay, you should watch maybe not a movie. Watch some clips because the way I don't know. To me, at least, he's kind of bringing an energy back to Western action. Western action, to me, I agree, has not been good. It's been kind of formulaic, very dull.
there's a lot of cuts. And
Yeah.
it's always shaky.
Sure, I agree with that. I think the way Keanu, at least the energy I get from him, he kind of brings a passion to it because he's done some of those movies. He's done Man of Touch. He's a fan of that, the martial arts and the Japanese kind of vibe of film, and he is a filmmaker himself. And I think this was sort of like a passion project. And when you see those training videos of him practicing, the way it's not just technical, it's technical and entertaining in a lot of ways. Like he cuts through scenes and you're like, there's a rhythm, the music's going off, he's fucking ramping up. This is fucking like, I don't care if it's for like a dog. It doesn't need to be like a big reason. It's just, I don't know. It's got.
I saw spoilers for the trailer.
That's fine.
There's a scene when the horse scene was cool. I was like, eh. But then there was a scene where there's a motorcycle and he puts a sword and the motorcycle flips. Indiana Jones 3.
Oh my
Fucking umbrella, dude. Fuck, man.
I'm going to let you know on a spoiler that a lot of movies reference a lot of other movies.
I know. But if you're going to do something, do it cooler. And it was
Okay, he's fighting 5 different guys and then he did that.
step your game up. Umbrella, dude. Umbrella, Indiana Jones. Let's fucking go. Sean Connery, pushing 65.
Okay. Everyone's got an opinion. It's fine.
What if they copied Stranger Things?
I mean, in a lot of ways,
Then I won't watch it.
I think in a lot of ways it references a lot of what Keanu himself has done. Like, Lawrence Fishburne is in the movies, and like he's got his stuff. Other actors that have been in other action movies are in the movies, and they do stuff. So I don't know. I'm a big fan of the John Wick series. I think they're bringing back Western action movies in a lot of ways.
I'm 2 movies deep, going all the way, dude. Can't go back now.
There was other trailers. I don't remember them.
It was Stranger Things and then Endgame? No. Fuck. I watched 2 trailers. I just don't remember what the second trailer was.
Yeah. Fuck. What was it? I don't remember.
Winnie the Pooh.
Probably.
We'll just leave it at that.
Winnie the Pooh. Oh no, it wasn't that. There was some news about Godzilla, and I'm hyped for that.
Yeah, the one where he fights all three.
And then the last thing I did, I just want to we're at the 2 hour mark. I've been on the fence about whether I'm going to go see Us, and I decided I'm going to go see Us.
With us?
I wanted to, but everyone's doing their own thing, so I'm doing it on my own too.
Dude, the hype.
Well, if you want, I can come down here on Saturday.
Yeah, that's fine.
And watch it.
That's fine.
Because I mean, it's not. I don't have. Oh, you have the ticket already.
It's not a reserved seat
So I'll just buy a ticket.
if you want to.
What's the? Well, we'll talk about.
Yeah,
that.
the address is.
You know what's crazy? I'm watching 2 movies this weekend.
What else?
Shazam.
Wait, this weekend? Damn.
It came. You could buy it at Fandango early 2-week access. I don't know if it's sold out. But
Supposedly.
I kept seeing it. I didn't know how to do it. I guess I
just go to Fandango. Shazam has me hyped.
Really?
Like that trailer, it has me hyped.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
but
be the
they've done
first
that
to see.
before.
I know. Well, yeah, Batman versus Superman. They have. But you know what has me hyped is that early reviews from fans are saying it's good. So I was like, okay, that's why I bought it. And they're confident for them to be like, okay, we'll kind of do an early.
That's cool. I hope they lean in this direction DC wise because they're doing just like fun.
You know why they're doing early? Because the critics are gonna fucking.
No, this is why
eat
they're
through
doing
it
early.
You know, but I don't want to buzzkill it, but I wonder what Captain Marvel had early great buzz.
Did it?
Yeah.
I don't.
Because the thing is, it got mixed up with all this like fake.
I know
reviews.
Us has early great buzz.
I'm just, as a whole, across the board, I'm become, ever since Suicide Squad, and now every time I hear about movies, I've just been more reluctant to give into hype. Because I'm always like, am I being set up? What is this? Right. Am I not in tune? Like, everyone was like, I kind of gave into the hype on Captain Marvel. I was like, you know what? It's getting good buzz. And I watched it. I was like, it did not click with me. And I had a disappointment. Katie... my girlfriend went in with no expectations. She's like, this is going to be crap, but like, let's go to the movies. Let's have a fun date night. And she's like, you know what? It was better than I thought. I was like, I should have gone with that mindset. I let myself get up and then went down.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I didn't look at any reviews, and then after like my buddies were talking about it, I'm looking at the reviews. I'm like, dude, get some shitty ass reviews.
So it's just this, like my focus on basing on reviews. I feel like
Yeah, you focus too much on it. Like it puts you in a mindset of like it's gonna be shit or it's gonna be really good, and then it doesn't reach the expectations you have of how good or how bad, and it kind of makes it even worse for you.
Yeah, it might be another topic for another time of just like how a review can influence your opinion and how it should or shouldn't. But for me, it's not working out as often as it should. But everyone's different. Where can people find you guys?
They can find me at the Fulio365 on Instagram, and then the Fulio everywhere else. At
The Last Bosses everywhere, and soon to be another Instagram account. Secret. I haven't come up with the name, so I'm creating a character. I've wanted to create this character for a long time, and I'm just gonna do it on.
I want to see a hype video,
dude. It's such a douche.
Props. Okay.
Instagram.
He's gonna do the little
WonderCon with the fishing line.
Well, you was it.
You guys can find me at Creature Prime. You can find us all in the Upside Down at the Weekly DLC. Let us know what you think of this episode. If you have any thoughts, we'd love to hear from you. If you can leave a review, that'd be awesome.
If you want us to stop leaving reviews, just let us know.
Well, if you want us to stop asking you to leave reviews, just leave a review. Like, fucking, come on, bro. You might run into us at not Comic-Con, WonderCon.
Both, but
WonderCon sooner than Comic-Con. So if you do, say hi. We're friendly. We might bite. Jang might.
Not watch Stranger Things Season 3.
Or yank some money around. But yeah, with that, we'll...
DLC.
You later. Question.